It's crazy that Hank just does because he doesn't watch hockey. He can't just reverse everything that PFT trolls Hank with. Like he's going through.
I watched all these games,
but you know he's going through like he's down 2-1.
The difference between me and PFT is I like PFT and I root for his teams. I want the Capitals to do well.
Do you?
Yeah.
On today's Part of My Take, we have our good friend Rachel Nichols back on the show talking some NBA playoffs. We also have Max. He's back. Max is back. We're going to talk about all the playoff action from this weekend. Got a little NFL news we're going to get to. We got who's back, and then we will finish with Max giving us gifts from Hawaii and jordOn of the week. She's back in the news. We screwed up our recording by about 3 hours because we said on Thursday night, man, it stinks we don't have any new jordOn news, and then we got the bombshell.
Yeah, they always wait till Friday sometimes to put out the old jordOn bomb.
Yeah, so jordOn of the week, 2 weeks running. Great show coming your way, and it's brought to you by our friends at DraftKings. It's officially the best time of year for hoops fans. Playoff drama, buzzer beaters, all the chaos we live for, and if you're done just watching and ready to actually win some cash, you got to check out Pick 6 from DraftKings. Nobody's dropping better payouts than Pick 6. Hit 6 picks, and that's 25x your cash. And if you beat your competition, you could be looking at a 500-time bag in your pocket. It's super simple. Select your picks, track your score, go for those big-time prizes. No gimmicks, just straight-up fun. Pick 6 is live in most states like Missouri, Cali, Texas, Georgia, and plenty more. So, yeah, don't settle for weak payouts. Make your picks with Pick 6 and let your basketball brain pay off. New to DraftKings Pick 6, new customers, toss in just $5 on your first entry and you get 50 in bonus picks instantly. The playoffs are on, so why not take a shot at making a little money while you're watching? Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now, and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. Play $5, get 50 in bonus picks, better payouts, bigger wins. Only on Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Okay, let's go.
Hey, football guy. Patino. AWS. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take. Yeah. Pardon my take.
Welcome to Part of My Take, presented by DraftKings. The playoffs are on, so why not take a shot at making a little money while you're watching? Download the DraftKings Pick 6 app right now and use code TAKE. That's code TAKE. Play $5, get 50 in bonus picks, better payouts, bigger wins. Only on Pick 6 from DraftKings. The crown is yours. Today is Monday, May 12th, and Max and the Celtics are back.
Celtics are so back.
The two of them combined.
The Celtics are down 1-2 in this series, but it feels like they're up 3-1.
Yeah, Hank, we got a better mood, Hank, here.
We're
ready to go.
Hank, you are dominating this series 1-2.
We should probably start with this because you need to. We need to pump up our boy, get him back. There were some comments that were like, "Hey, Hank's just he's down. He's down in the dumps again.
Who
he's
said
being
that?
a negative Nancy, not talking."
Well,
That's
no,
not
JOC.
true.
whoever said that it did not pay attention because Hank very clearly said that he wasn't worried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was not worried. So the Celtics on Saturday, we're going to talk about every game from this weekend. The Celtics on Saturday kicked the shit out of the Knicks. Jason Tatum showed up in his fully laced up Timberlands, ready to go to work.
What does that look for, Hank?
Why'd you have to clarify they were fully laced?
Well, he was wearing Timberlands because it was a New York game. He was like, I'm the bad guy. This was him doing the Joker.
Well, I mean, it's just like
the Joker did the Joker.
I know, literally the Joker.
a guy with aura would have
The Joker did the Joker.
would have the loose Timberlands, I would say.
Got it. Yeah, Mr. Big Cat.
Safety first.
Mr. Big Cat, decider of aura for basketball.
No,
players.
safety
That's
first.
facts.
If you're going to troll somebody,
I
You
am.
wear a black hoodie and the same pair of shoes.
If
You
you're-
wear the same shit every day too.
I
You
don't.
want to get you win one game? Yeah, you do.
No, I
You wear
don't.
the same shit every day too. We all wear the same shit.
But I'm not deciding who has aura
It's
and who
literally this room is just PFT dresses like a fifth grader, and then everyone else wears a hoodie and sweat and joggers. That's it. That's all. That's the entire fashion of Pardon My Take.
I mean, today I'm wearing a hoodie and,
Yeah.
and basically joggers.
Yo, that was crazy. You dress the same as me.
But I don't sit here and decide how Jason Tatum, the fucking NBA superstar, should be
first of
dressing.
all, all I said was they were fully laced up. I was explaining the situation.
If I was Jason Tatum,
they were fully laced up.
Timberland. Timbs.
I would.
Jason Tatum is essentially the same playoff performer as Joel Embiid. We also established that on Friday. He did say like the nodding of the laces. It's like, come on, man.
Yeah, thank you, PFT.
But he was like, if I'm going to, I will troll them.
It's not going to a construction site.
I will troll them, but I don't want to trip on myself.
Yeah, he doesn't want to hurt his ankles. It's pretty important. He's okay.
Well, is he? I thought you said he was an elite athlete. Elite athletes should be able to walk around with untied shoes and not trip on themselves.
Whatever.
Either way, Hank, good job. You won a game.
Thank you.
It feels not great for the Knicks because they're up 2-1. But it felt like the Celtics were going to finally make their threes, and then they finally made their threes, and they won by 30. Or no, I guess it was closer in the end. They win by like 20, 22. But this game was never in doubt. They scored, 71 in the first half? How are you feeling?
I feel good. I'm happy I said I wouldn't be worried if they went down 0-2. They came out. They showed what they needed to do. I feel like they're going to win this series in 6.
Oh, so that's it. It's it for the Knicks.
Yeah.
I actually have a stat for you that might make you a little worried.
Okay.
You ready for it?
Yeah.
This is advanced analytics. In the last 3 seasons in the playoffs, the Knicks record in the second round when playing on ESPN, they're 0-8. This game was on ESPN. When playing on TNT, they're 7-1. I looked ahead. Monday's ESPN, so that's a win, so it's 2-2. Wednesday's TNT. Now the Knicks are back up 3-2. Friday's ESPN. Damn, 3-3. Monday is TNT. So you're going to lose in 7. No team is going to win a home game.
I kind of like that. I got some advanced analytics.
I love dumb stats like that.
For you here too, Hank. The Knicks are so fucking tough. They're just tough. They're just a tough fucking team.
Not complaining about injuries or using excuses.
No, they just don't give up.
Karl Anthony Towns might have broken his finger. I love Cat so much.
His fingernail?
He's so fucking zesty. That when he hit his first 3, I think it was his first 3 since the Pistons series, and he kissed his hand. He's so funny. I also don't know why the Knicks don't get him involved more.
Well, they asked him about his injury. He said what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room.
Love that. It happened on the court, but yeah, that seems like a cliche. He got his cliches like mixed up.
And he's definitely injured, yeah.
Wait, or did something happen in the locker room?
It might have.
If we know it's staying in, if we don't know, it's going to stay in there.
There was a clip that you could see him say, "I think I broke my finger."
Okay, but in the locker room. But in the locker room,
it's broken. He pulls his finger. He says, "I broke it."
Dislocated, maybe. So he goes in the locker room. Maybe he gets into. He just flips somebody off real hard.
I don't know.
And then hyperextends it, makes it worse.
Maybe he pointed at someone, said "you," and like kind of wagged it a little too hard.
Yeah, I don't know, but Hank, it does feel like water finds its level, and the Celtics weren't going to be a terrible 3-point shooting team for forever. But it is weird that it happened 2 games in a row.
I actually, obviously the Celtics hit their shots. The Celtics defense is what won this game. They have Jalen Brunson in hell. I know he still is scoring, but he has to work so hard for everything. And when the Knicks refuse to, I feel like they don't run plays for Cat where they just give him the ball and they're like, hey, figure this out, Cat. And then you have role players who don't step up enough. It was the Celtics defense and Peyton Pritchard. Celtics defense and Peyton Pritchard were the winners of this game in my eyes.
I agree.
Yeah, Peyton Pritchard was awesome.
He's
awesome. So fun to watch when he's hot.
I got a question for you, Hank. We talked about Kristaps having whatever he has. There's been more reports. Shams even reported in his report. He told us absolutely nothing. He was just like, he wakes up some days he's tired. Mm-hmm. He probably needs to do a follow-up to Luka being like he slept all day.
I think I got that.
Yeah. He's taking IVs, everything. Is there a chance that you trust Luke Kornet more than Kristaps at this point?
No. I mean,
Luke Kornet's not bad.
Luke Kornet's good. Luke Kornet's good. He's a good player. Not exactly the offensive spark plug that Porzingis is, but he's good defensively. He knows his role. But I think you'd rather have
Porzingis his offense hasn't been that good.
Well, yeah, he's dealing with whatever he's dealing with. But again, like they, made it to the finals last year. He just needs to be a spark. Porzingis just needs to be a spark.
I feel like you will need Porzingis in the finals. Right? Does that part weird you out at all? Because
Are you already on to the finals?
You can beat the Knicks. You guys are already up in the series. We've established that.
Yeah, we're out of the finals.
Yeah, but then
You're on to the finals.
not having Porzingis, then it becomes an issue for you.
We have him though. It's just he's going to get healthier and healthier. He's going to get catch more of his breath. Hopefully, whatever he has fades away. He'll be back. I think he'll be fine.
Going into this game, were you nervous, or were you like, "Hey, we're going to win this game by a lot"?
Yeah, I was confident.
Okay.
Not nervous at all.
Were you worried about the Garden?
No, the Garden is the most overrated venue in sports.
All right.
Well, you can say right now, both Gardens, no team has won a home game.
Yeah, that's true.
I also am addicted to. So I'm addicted to two things on the Knicks, and I do think the Knicks are in a lot of trouble. Cat, just being Cat, is very funny to watch. He's just so zesty. And then Mitchell Robinson shooting free throws. And I don't know if you guys saw this, but we had one of the most ridiculous. I don't know if there was like a weekend intern running the ESPN account.
Mm-hmm.
Mitchell Robinson got to the free throw line. The Knicks fans tried to cheer him on. And ESPN tweeted, the Knicks crowd supported Mitchell Robinson while he was at the free throw line, bigger than basketball. I thought at a moment, when I read that at first, I was like, does Mitchell Robinson have some illness I do not know about? Is Mitchell Robinson, did he have like some horrific thing happen as a child that makes it so he can't shoot free throws? His basketball hoop burned down when he was a kid and his family died in the fire. Something. No, he just can't shoot free throws, and it's bigger than basketball.
They're cheering for him, which is, wait, correct me if I'm wrong, free throws are a part of the sport of basketball.
Correct.
So they're cheering him from the line. This is what, when Philly did it, we said good sports town for Trey Turner. Remember that?
Yeah.
Kind of the same thing, except it's not working. It's making him airball the ball worse.
He airballs like every single game, but bigger than basketball. That's something that happens. That's Little League World Series shit, where they're like, yeah, it's bigger than sports. And these kids high-fiving, playing ping pong after Chinese Taipei beats them by 100.
Yeah, I mean, New York as a sports town should be booing him.
Yeah.
Right? That's what great sports towns do.
Agreed.
They hold their players accountable. I think maybe they've reached the end of their booing where they're like, we've already booed enough. That's not working. We got to try something, anything else. You know what? Some things are bigger than the game.
Bigger than basketball.
Well, they priced out the real fans out of the Garden.
No, Chalamet was there.
But like anyone that, the cheapest ticket to get in was like $900.
Ben Stiller?
I mean, that is how playoffs work in all sports. When your team goes to the playoffs and then goes deeper into the playoffs, the tickets do get more expensive.
I do think, though, that a city like New York, you should have you have to work on the wording of this to make it a little smoother around the edges. A poor section, like for the real fans, right?
Well, I mean, there's
because there's a shitload of people in New York that are diehard fans of the Knicks that aren't A-list celebrities that would like to be able to go to a game that do make a difference in terms of cheering for their team.
Well, I mean, season ticket holders still have tickets. I mean, those guys are diehards and don't have to be like billionaires.
I'm sure those are very expensive, though.
Yeah, they are. But I mean, I it's how sports work. The ticket prices go up. It sucks. I mean, the Garden was electric for a team that got absolutely killed. Like, it was loud.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the beginning.
It was very loud.
So you're not intimidated by the Garden at all?
0%.
Do you think
The
if there was a poor section, they wouldn't have made a bigger than basketball moment with Mitchell Robinson?
They definitely would not.
booed.
They would have booed. They would have
booed.
done the right thing as sports. It's like the Titanic.
Yeah, you need the guys.
You have way more fun below deck.
You need the guys who ripped down Julius Randle's fat head. Like a couple years ago when he was injured.
Like they're assholes.
Yeah.
But they're your assholes.
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. So, Max, you missed basically the worst week that you could have missed because I think we all, when the Knicks were up 2-0, we're like, this is funny, but if the Celtics hit some shots, it's not going to be funny much longer. And you missed that whole week.
So, yeah, Celtics probably aren't going to lose a game the rest of the playoffs.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Max has come all the way around. I can tell you meant that.
What was the feedback on your Embiid versus Tatum take?
I stand by it.
No, what was the feedback?
I had people
Okay,
trying to
0 for
dunk
1.
on me, for Tatum having 20 points, going 8 of 20 from the field. Great, huge game.
Hank?
Any other feedback?
Stat hole gave me some numbers that backs up what I said.
Wait, did he give you any numbers regarding not playing in the playoffs?
Yeah, the Celtics are a better team.
Do you think that is a point in favor of Jason Tatum, though, the fact that Embiid has missed a lot of important playoff games?
Injuries are a shame.
What about playoff points scored before 27 years old? Do you see that stat?
I didn't see
No,
that.
I didn't
That's
see
not
that.
team
That's
stat.
that's a
Who's leading in that?
participation
Wait, is that
trophy.
that's participation?
Who's leading in
Yeah,
that?
per game.
Is Tatum still under 27 years old? Or is he 27?
It was under 28.
Under 20.
He's under 28.
I got-
Are they
I got
going to
sent
just
that stat
keep
a couple
bumping that
times.
up? Like, he's going to
Yeah.
be under 29 next year?
Yeah, I'll probably be winning that one too.
Max, do you just root against
More
any
than LeBron, more
superstar
than Michael
in the
Jordan,
playoffs?
more
Jason
than
Tatum is
Steph
not
Curry.
a superstar.
Oh, let's embrace debate.
Memes?
Oh yeah, let's get the Knicks.
Well, memes just kept saying it every time you kept
Let's
saying
get the Knicks
Jason
fan.
Tatum's a superstar. He was like, memes just kept saying star.
Listen,
Star.
we had this debate last year.
Yeah, we did.
I'm very critical.
You don't
of
get your
the-
own Jordan if you're not a superstar.
I'm very critical of the tag superstar.
Fact or
People got
fiction?
mad at me when I said Jalen Brunson wasn't a superstar.
He's
I
not.
have like 4 superstars in the whole league.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
He
Okay.
didn't play on the Olympic team. He didn't play.
Who are the 4?
Like, so it's Jokic, it's Giannis, it's Luka, and then there's like the aging group of superstars that's like Steph, LeBron, KD. It's not much. I don't go superstar to me is if you said their name like to your mom or someone on the street, they would immediately be like, "Yeah, of course I know who that is."
Yeah, Jason Tatum's in there. He's in this
I don't
Superman
know.
commercial.
He's a star. I'm very critical of the. We've done this, so I don't want to rehash it. But like, it's not a knock on him. Jalen Brunson, I feel the same way. It's like he's a star. Superstar has to be like one of the. Like everyone knows who that person is.
If you're a star in New York, though, that gives you a little extra bump, though.
Yeah, that's true. I listen. Some people have superstar threshold is different than mine. Which
I don't know if
understand.
I'd put Luke in there just yet. I think he
Luka's
was.
a superstar. I think he's a superstar.
I think he was.
and now he's not.
No, he's not. No,
he
he's
got taken out of superstar.
yeah. He's like one of those stars that's about to engulf the
Anthony
planet
Edwards
Earth.
on is right there.
He's like the sun in 40 billion years when it swallows Mars.
Halliburton.
I have like
Pacers.
I have like SGA, Tatum, Brunson, Anthony Edwards, like right there.
Okay.
People
I mean,
will
we'll
disagree with
just have to keep winning championships and see how you move this take back.
Move it- Well, no, my superstar.
Well,
take
what
is-
about?
I don't
what
think you
about-
can
what about
say keep
for-
winning championships when you've only won one.
Well, we've won one.
So
But you
you
can't.
keep-
But it,
So if we
keep
win another
winning,
one, then we would
keep
keep
winning
winning.
makes a
We just
like an
won.
assumption that
So if we won again,
that
then
you are
we'd keep winning.
continuously winning championships.
Max, do you think that-
you are not
We
continuously.
are the current champions, and if we win another one, that would mean we kept winning.
You are losing the series.
Are
No,
we-
no, he's not.
Max, are we
Max,
gonna-
they're
are we
not.
gonna- are we
They're
going
not,
to lose the
though.
series?
No, you're not.
So then,
So don't
okay.
do that. Save it, Max.
Embiid
They're
and
not-
Tatum are the same player. Their fourth quarter numbers are exactly the same. Their offensive rating is exactly the same. Embiid's better defensive rating. He has a better plus minus per game. They're the same. They're the same.
It's just
playoff
tough.
player.
Like they played in a game 7, and Jason Tatum went off to beat the Sixers after coming back from 3-2. Like I will never understand this.
Oh,
argument.
coming back from 3-2. Oh my God, the most surprising thing in all of fucking sports. Who's gonna forget the team that came back from 3-2?
I feel like he's being sarcastic right now.
I don't understand. Like,
I mean, you just said that it was like it was the Red Sox beating the Yankees down 3-0.
well, when we're talking about head-to-head
3-2.
comparisons, usually having
The way you just said that was like Yankees Red Sox.
Yeah,
Max,
3-2
just
is
wait
not
till
that
the
big
of a
Celtics
deal.
come back from being down.
but that
2-0.
like that.
Oh my God.
It showed something.
Max, do you root against every superstar in the playoffs so that you can say like Embiid's actually better than that guy?
No, just the so-called superstar of the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
Okay.
Shout out Stat Hole Sports. He's the best.
Yeah. We have. Wait. So these are the Stat Hole Sports. He has all these numbers up here.
These are what he sent me two things. One of them is just like overall, and then the other one is actually bizarre. It's like their
So
fourth quarter numbers.
He's better at offense and better at defense.
No,
got it.
wrong defense. It's better. It's better to have a lower number.
Okay, Max, do you know what any of these numbers are that we're looking at?
Yeah, I don't know.
One
know.
is
Player rating.
110.2 to 108.3.
What goes into player rating?
Yeah, I need to know
I don't know what goes into war,
some guns.
No, we didn't bring up war.
but that's what I'm saying. You don't. It's important.
Okay.
I don't know what goes into it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. But this also has Tatum is better than Embiid in both numbers.
Wrong. The defense. It's better to have. He explained this to me because I was confused as well. Defense, it's better to have a lower number.
What? This is crazy.
Max had to,
It is.
You had to schedule like a Zoom call with
That's
him
what he
so
said.
so he could explain each number and why. It's better.
I mean, it makes
So
sense.
it's better to be higher in offense, lower in... Okay,
Correct.
actually, that does make
Yeah.
sense. That does make sense. All right. Okay. Want to talk about some other games?
Do you think they're going to continue to cheer
These are the
Mitchell Robinson
fourth
at the
quarter
foul
numbers,
line?
by the way. We'll put all these numbers up in the
Yes.
YouTube.
Oh,
Please,
good.
thank
Yeah,
God.
But we're
make
not
sure.
gonna. But
Yeah.
we're
Can't wait to
not
see
gonna
it.
get into it.
Can't wait to
Crazy.
see it.
Literally the same percentage. What
Yeah.
do they say? Players, shooter shots made in the final 5 minutes. That's clutch time, baby.
Of a 5-point game or less, they have the exact same percentage.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay.
0.348.
Same player. Same
player.
guy.
But no, I mean that's.
I hate how you're turning this into a pure numbers argument now.
Also, doesn't that mean...
But-
does that mean they just
You're not
both
a numbers
stink?
guy. Don't
Yes.
cosplay as a numbers
yes,
guy.
that was the whole point of this argument.
You're a trenches guy.
You're
But do
not
you remember
a numbers
when
guy.
Hank did this numbers thing with us?
You
No,
with numbers does
I'm
not...
not a numbers
when he
guy.
did the Thunder Celtics, he did this exact same thing.
You guys have twisted that argument and words that I've said into a place I can't even begin to come back from.
Max, PFT's right. You're not a numbers guy. That would be like Hank dressing nice on a regular day. Like you're not a numbers guy.
Yeah.
You look really weird. He's not a numbers
You're an
guy.
emotions guy, Max.
Yeah, you're fucking...
Go with
You're
your
a piss
feelings.
and vinegar guy.
You're a gut guy.
yeah.
Yeah,
You're a
and
meatball.
Yeah, you are a literal meatball. There's no numbers to meatballs.
Yeah,
it's good.
I need
They're good.
If you're going to be a numbers guy, you got to go all in. You got to start wearing khakis and wear glasses and shit.
the little
and
umbrella,
a
the
belt.
yeah, Steve Kornacki shit.
Yeah. You're not. Just stop being a numbers guy for me.
Yeah. All right. Let's talk about Timberwolves Warriors because Steph is still not playing, and the Warriors are very difficult to watch.
Yeah. Very, very tough watch without him.
They are very different. They were leading at half without making a three. I mean, credit to Jimmy Butler and Kuminga for keeping this game close. But this game was Julius Randle. Julius Randle has been so good he's their most consistent player. Like Anthony Edwards, I think he had 36. And Anthony Edwards obviously has a higher ceiling and all that stuff. Julius Randle in these playoffs has been Mr. Consistency, and it's crazy to watch him like make the right pass instead of doing his old school spin move where he spins to no one, being all over the boards, like just. He's not forcing it. He's letting the game come to him, and it's cool to watch a guy like find a good spot. It's probably going to piss off Knicks fans to watch this, but he is Mr. Consistency, and he was triple-double in this game.
Yeah. So actually, Anthony Edwards gets better the better Julius Randle gets too.
Yeah.
It's like a force multiplier because as dangerous as Edwards is when he's dribbling the ball and he's attacking, he's about to just dunk through everybody. He's also that dangerous when he's moving without the ball if he has somebody that can get it to him in the right place.
Yep.
And that's Julius Randle right now, who's softening up, just bearing his shoulders into people's solar plexus, backing him down, and then finding Anthony Edwards cutting. They are fun to watch when they do that. And credit to the Golden State Warriors because they played some good defense.
They're really good defensively.
They mucked it up. They have to get like real dirty and chippy and nasty with it, which they did in the first half, and then it was just too much at the end. They couldn't get a shot when they needed a shot, and the highlight of the fourth quarter was a guy in the stands that looked very similar to Mike Dunleavy making out with a woman as Jimmy Butler was on camera.
Yes.
I don't think that was actually him,
No,
but it's fun to pretend that it was.
I agree. Also, the highlight of this game was Draymond Green knowing the spread and telling his guys to cover the spread.
Yeah, 5.5. Now, was he telling his guys or was he telling the other team, like, what's the spread, 5.5? Yeah, we got this. Just watch.
I think it was coming out of a huddle, and because Draymond Green had fouled out of the game. I don't know if you can find the clip, Max. Max does a funny thing after he goes toe to toe with Hank. He just kind of sits back and like stops, takes like a timeout, mental timeout, being like,
I was processing.
replaying everything in his
He
head. It's
thinks
like,
about what he
the
said.
show is still going.
People are going to get upset about this. No, I can't believe I said that.
No, that was good.
Can't
was
believe
just-
I tried to do math.
He just didn't have his hands anywhere near his computer there when we started bringing
I
it up.
shouldn't have brought up the
a
thing about
clip.
keep winning.
Yeah. Yeah, you might be right. It might be telling
Yeah,
the Wolves.
I think he was telling Nas Reed. That's
Yeah.
what it looks like. Was that Nas? I think so.
5.5.
He's
yeah.
like 5.5. Yeah, watch this.
Yeah.
We got this.
I
And
also like that people
then they
were
make-
like,
then they
this
make a
is,
three.
This is rigged. There was 15 seconds left. The Warriors were going to try to score.
Yeah.
You can't rig. It'd be one thing if it was, they were up. If it was, the Wolves had said 5.5 and they're like, hey, let the Warriors score here,
Right.
so they can cover.
Or if Nas had looked at him and been like, yeah, okay, got it, 5.5. And
Yeah.
then told his teammates, like, hey, like, don't play defense.
Don't play defense,
Which
yeah.
they might not have been playing that tough defense because the game was out of hand at that point.
Correct.
And they're just like, don't foul.
Right.
But it is funny to see. It looks. I haven't seen anybody suggest anything else besides him saying that it was 5.5 there.
Yeah.
And what else could the
No,
5.5?
it was
have been?
absolutely 5.5.
Yeah.
I'm just happy that we keep doing the awoo tweet. I would like to see Steph Curry play in this game. I don't really want to see Gary Payton and Gary Payton Jr. or the second, and Podzimski just like miss a million shots. It'd be
Buddy
nice if that
Hield.
was Steph. Buddy Hield's actually been like decent.
Yeah.
Like, he's not. You can't expect much more from what Buddy Hield has given.
No, you can't expect.
We're at max Buddy Hield.
You can't expect much more from this team.
No.
Like,
it's Jimmy Butler
yeah.
basically making incredible footwork plays in one-on-one basketball and then shooting it over Rudy Gobert, who does affect every shot, and you're hoping that all of them go in and then maybe you have a chance.
Your prayer is to get a Jimmy Butler 50-point game.
And Kuminga did have his 30-point game, so that's tough that it came in a loss.
I don't see them winning another game without Steph. But it could happen if J Butt does the J Butt thing.
Yeah. I just Wolves are fun. Julius Randle, fun. I like watching the Wolves, and I like watching. I mean, Anthony Edwards, that dunk he had. Whoo!
Mm-hmm.
And also, you know what? You know who I'm rooting for? Mike Conley.
Yeah,
I
of
like Mike
course.
Conley a lot.
Of course, good guy.
And he had like he had, I think it was like late in the game. I watched all these games I saved them on YouTube TV and watched them on my flight back. It was like towards the end of the game where he was just playing really good defense. I was like, Mike Conley, I fucking like that.
That's the dad in you.
I had to.
Dads love Mike Conley.
I thought you meant the recording because that also is what my dad does.
No, that too. But like dads love Mike Conley.
Oh, yeah.
he's the perfect guy for a dad to watch and be like, that's why they can win the championship. is
I
because
just
of a guy
like Mike
that.
Conley.
Yeah,
Shout out Mike Conley.
he does do all the little things.
Yeah. All right. Nuggets Thunder has been a weird series. 2-2. Since we last recorded, though, we had the overtime game on Friday night where I don't want to like reduce playoff basketball into one simple thing, but I think in this game you can, where it simply was the Denver Nuggets are former champions and the Oklahoma City Thunder are a young team, and it was like find a way to win, and the Nuggets could do it, and the Thunder were like, hey, let's just have SGA go 1-on-5 and hope it works.
Well, yeah, I think this whole series, just in general, I guess with the exception of the blowout in game 2, but there have been a lot of instances where like small coaching decisions, small like mental errors have just tilted the games in one direction or the
And
other.
Aaron Gordon just being the man.
Mr. Nugget.
He is so
being the
awesome.
man. Give me 5 Aaron Gordons.
Did you know that he built a court in his house this summer
Yeah.
and worked on his shot all summer?
Well, it shows.
Yeah.
And he loves stepping back and taking those threes now.
Yeah.
He's kind of stepped into that was his role right now is kind of what Porter was doing last year and the year before.
And also Michael Porter Jr. is playing with an entire ice pack on his shoulder.
Yeah, one
at
arm
all times.
One arm just not working at
Yeah.
all.
But so Friday night, the Nuggets have a huge win. It's like, all right, if they can somehow win on Sunday, this series could be over. And this game was horrific to watch. The Nuggets scored 8 points in the first quarter. The teams were combined 1 for 32 shooting at one point from 3-point to start the game. It felt like the Nuggets had this game, or they at least were going to have a chance to win this game and get to that pressure point of like, hey, we're the team that's won a championship. And Jokic missing those 2 free throws when it was 84-80. Jokic has not been that good. Like
he looks like he's hurt.
Yeah. They're also beating the fuck out of him.
The way he runs, it looks like he like is in so much pain.
That's
like
kind of always how he looks.
I
like
know,
he
but
runs,
it's
though.
extra. He's like extra kind of.
I think today it stood out
slow and
because like Big Cat was saying, the fact that the Nuggets have all the experience and the Thunder are so young, that's kind of why the Nuggets were able to win on Friday night. I think that's why the Thunder were able to win today.
little younger.
After like 35 hours off.
Yeah.
The Thunder just bounced back, and the oldest guy in the Thunder is Alex Caruso, and the Nuggets they looked like they didn't have any legs at all in the first quarter. They did come back to a point where they could have, I think, taken the lead on the shot, if not tied it, where Russ had a wide open 3 and just airmailed it.
That was
did the Russ shot.
I feel like he missed. There was like a few moments in that fourth quarter where it's like, oh, here come the Nuggets, and there was at least two that come to mind of Russ having a wide open three and missing
And airballing.
Yeah.
He
But-
did make that great stop against SGA though.
Yeah.
When he was like, okay, we're going to ISO. I'm going to get inside of his shirt. And then I think the announcer said afterwards he was in his chest like bronchitis.
Yep.
Which is a great call.
Great line.
How long do you think he had that one cocked and ready to go?
I don't know.
Great
That's a
line.
bar.
But I heard it. I was like, yeah, that's right. That's it. Nuggets are winning.
That's true.
Bronchitis.
Yeah, but it was. I mean, those two. I know. It does come down. You got to make your free throws, and like it was kind of shocking to see Jokic miss those two free throws. And it's also we're having a competing war online of fan bases and posting replays of Jokic flops and Thunder like beating the fuck out of Jokic, and like which one's more egregious. There's complaints coming from all sides.
Yeah.
Because there was that clip that went viral the other night of Lou Dort just basically trying to wrestle Jokic and nothing getting called. And then Jokic having flops and doing stuff and nothing getting called. I think they're just not calling anything ever.
Yeah.
Which I'm okay with, as long as they stay consistent.
Yeah.
Lou Dort does have a little bit of football player playing like pickup basketball with the basketball.
He's got some sharp
Sometimes.
elbows.
Yeah. He can't hit a three right now, too. And I'm a Dortcher guy. I'm a Dortcher chamber guy. I love Lou Dort.
I think Jokic has some of that soccer mentality in him.
Yeah.
Kind of grew up with that European style where it's like if you get touched, you have to sell it. I rarely see, and I'm sure that somebody's going to send some examples of him doing like true flops, but I feel like most of the time somebody touches him and then he exaggerates the reaction.
And I also do think there's times where he just doesn't get the call.
Yeah.
Like, because it happened to Shaq, famously, of like, Shaq is so big, they don't know how to officiate him because he's so much bigger than everyone.
Yeah, I mean, the NBA got caught in it was a gap in the playbook or in the rule book where I think it was Caruso was defending against Jokic as he was going up for a layup, and Caruso had his hand on his hip, and then Jokic goes up for the layup and like flails his body a little bit. They call the foul, then they challenge it, and they look at it and they're like, clearly this is a foul that should not have been called in real time, but by the letter of the law, his hand was on his hip. So it is a foul, even though we can all see that it's not.
I think that was the two free throws that he missed.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, so it was a ball don't lie moment.
Big time ball don't lie.
Yeah, huge ball don't lie.
Ball don't lie for Caruso.
Yeah, but it really is a clip war going on.
Yeah.
On both sides, and I'm just sitting here just enjoying it.
I think that
Today was not an enjoyable basketball game, I should say.
No, it was not. No, it was not at all. The first half sucked. There were so many air balls.
Yeah. Who do you think's going to win this series?
I think.
I do think Jokic is going to have another, like, he's not going to play, and again, all in perspective, a bad Jokic game is when he's like 26 points, 12 rebounds, but he has to take like 24 shots to do it.
Yeah, what's the schedule?
I think their next game is Tuesday. You're just going off legs?
Just going off legs right now.
Yeah, they play Tuesday, Thursday. They don't get a day off. Then Sunday if there's a game 7. So that would be the only time they get 2 days off. So if you're going off legs, the Nuggets have to win one of these next 2, and then they get a 2 days off before game 7.
So I'm going to go Nuggets.
You're going to go Nugs.
I think they can steal one.
Thunder, dude. Thunder's team's too stacked.
What are you mocking PFT
No.
right now?
He's mocking
It felt
me.
mocking.
He's mocking me.
They won the most games in the league. They're the youngest team.
Guy for guy.
Guy for guy, they're stacked.
That
I was
feels
just
like
trying to
it's mocking.
impart a little awareness to you and a little,
Yeah, and you got
you've
through. You should be like
You were,
thanking me.
you
for
were a little
listening to
too
you.
cocky, and you got to be a little bit more humble, Hank.
I was. That's what I did. I took in the information like a sponge, and now I'm giving it back, and I'm getting mocked for it.
Is that what sponges do?
Yeah.
They absorb
Take
and
it
then
After
squeeze.
we wring you out,
Yeah.
twist you up.
The last series, the Pacers, holy shit. They kicked the fuck out of the Cavs tonight. I know the Cavs. So the Cavs won on Friday night. Donovan Mitchell was out of this world. That one highlight was so sick of him spin moving and then readjusting in the air. But tonight was Pacer ball. I think they had 25 assists in the first half. Insane.
So at
Everyone shot.
They're shooting like 60%.
It was crazy. They were moving the ball so
From
well.
3.
halftime, they were up 80-39. That's a 41-point halftime lead. I think that's tied for the biggest halftime lead in the history of the NBA playoffs with who, Hank?
The Celtics.
The Cleveland Cavaliers over the Celtics
Oh,
in 2017.
got it.
I think that was
we
the
were
game you
there.
lost your wallet.
We might have been there, yeah.
Yeah,
I think that was wallet game.
that was wallet where
Yeah.
I left
Kyrie
it,
went off.
I left it in Cleveland, or was that 20? That might have been
2017.
20. Was that not the first year of part of my take? I thought that might have been the first year.
No, because we weren't. I don't.
It was the Isaiah Thomas year. I think it was 2017. Eastern Conference Finals.
I think
We
no.
lost in Game 7.
I think 2016. I think it was year one of part of my take
Nope.
that I left it there.
Nope.
Machine Gun Kelly performing at
Yeah,
halftime.
no, it's 2017 for sure.
Who could forget?
Are you gonna let him just nope you like that?
I know.
I trust Hank's
yeah.
memory of
I'm looking it up.
getting
but
his ass
just
kicked by LeBron.
Don't let him just nope you like that.
No, I mean if Hank says no, LeBron became my daddy in
It
2017,
was
then I believe
2017
him.
we were in. That was
Yeah,
the
2016 was Cleveland, Toronto.
Max could be a massive thumbs up.
I like that. That was
You're
good.
such a
That
hater.
was good content.
But yeah, so they were up 72-31. Yikes! You guys only scored 31 points in the first half against them.
Yeah, that was Kyrie. Remember, Kyrie scored
Yeah.
like 18 points in a row.
Yeah.
80
I was
to
like, I've never seen anyone play basketball.
80 to
He
39
was a rookie.
is
Almost beat them in Game 7.
80-39 is a bigger
Embiid
41-point
could
lead
never.
than 72-31.
Almost beating someone in Game 7. That's what we're saying is
Well, it's also Eastern Conference Finals, so we know Joel Embiid could never.
Say what you were gonna say.
that's a
again,
great
PFT.
accomplishment.
So
You guys should do a podcast together.
say what
Just
you were gonna say
scream at
again.
each other. I would listen to it.
Absolutely.
I would. No, I was saying 80-39 is a bigger 41-point halftime lead than 72-31.
Yeah, someone asked me, and I said the only thing bigger than 80-39 would be 70-29. That's a huge lead.
72-31 does not even feel like 41 points.
Yeah, but 70-29 that's massive.
70-29 is
Because
big.
if you have a 2 and a 7, that's crazy.
60-19.
60-19 is. I mean, that's not a NBA basketball game. That's
It's
a
SEC football.
No, I was gonna say that's a high school girls basketball, like the first round of the tournament, state tournament.
Yeah, or
like the best team plays the worst team is 60-19.
also the NCAA women's tournament.
Yeah,
Like UConn against
that is UConn. Yeah,
against I don't know Norfolk State.
Yeah.
UConn against Kennesaw.
yeah. I like that kind of softball.
Yeah.
I was on the tip of my tongue.
Mm-hmm.
Pace. Listen, I'm not going to say this series is over because I do think the Cavs are going to win the next game, and then there's a little bit more pressure. But Charles Barkley thinks this series is over because he said, "I'll see you all in Indy next week. St. Elmo's, get the steak ready. Well done, filet mignon."
Okay.
That is so disgusting. That is so disgusting. Also, I think he said filet mignon.
That's also if you're gonna say well done on any cut of steak. Listen, I'm never one to judge somebody based on how they order their steak or what is and is not a temperature.
You would
that can
never
order
do
a
that.
steak
Well done
on.
plus.
Yeah.
Well done filet mignon. That is quite literally a hockey puck.
Yeah.
He loves hockey.
He does.
He does love hockey.
Good point.
I mean, I do think the Pacers are going to win this. I think they're better than the Cavs. I just think that the Cavs are going to win Game 5, so there'll be a little bit of.
Is Donovan Mitchell okay?
Oh yeah, did he come back in?
He hurt himself at halftime.
Walking.
What happens in the locker room stays in the
Pacers
locker room.
team is good, Hank.
Yeah.
You've been mocking me.
No,
being
I like
Danny
Pacer Dan.
No, I just
It was Luka
they
Dan
don't
last
get
year.
any. They don't
You got
get any
Pacer Dan
respect.
this year.
They don't get any respect.
You're right. And you're giving it to him a lot.
You're not
I'm not.
at all.
The thing we've learned the most in these playoffs is that any team is capable of turning into a giant ass in any given half.
Yeah,
Every team has had a suck ass half.
yeah, big time, big time. And the Pacers had a whoop ass half at the same time as the Cavs suck ass.
Had their
half.
suck ass half.
Yeah, it was poor timing. Wait, did Donovan Mitchell come back in the game? I don't think he did because he only played 20 minutes.
That's not good.
I'll be honest. I tuned out the second half because I was like, the Pacers were just so much better. So doubtful return game after suffering an ankle injury. Okay, I take that back. The Pacers are going to win this series, maybe in 5.
I think in 5. So if we just going off vibes,
And I think I predicted Cavs in 5 or 6, so I was very wrong about that. But yeah, Pacers. They gotta go back to the old logo for the fucking Eastern Conference Final.
I agree.
Like if the Pacers play the Knicks or the Celtics, that's like big time. Like you have to go
Because you're going to be playing a team with a classic logo.
correct,
And you can't be.
You have to fight fire with fire. You can't be.
Yeah.
You can't be the Indiana Heat, which is what they've been wearing.
I agree. It'd be a bad look. So just based on vibes, the Celtics-Knicks series, it's 1-2. We all agree it feels like Celtics are up 3-1. Is that fair?
I would
Does
say
it feel like 2-2?
it feels like 3.5 to 1.5.
3.5 to 1.5 Celtics?
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know why that doesn't make any sense.
Timberwolves up 2-1 on Golden State.
But wait,
that
hold on.
feels like 3.5.
Let me explain why I think it's 3.5, 1.5.
Okay.
I feel like the Celtics are one half of basketball away from the Knicks being like, all right, we quit.
Yeah.
Like if they come out and they just absolutely demolish it, I think the Knicks would be like, this is not fun.
Okay. The T-Wolves Warriors, it's 2-1 right now for the T-Wolves. I feel like that's 2.5 to half a game.
It might be 3.5 to half a game without Steph.
Without Steph, yeah. But if it's 2.5 to half, then they have a better chance of getting Steph back at some point.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you just added
Yeah.
another game. And then Nuggets, Thunder. That one to me feels like it's...
I think it's correct score.
You think so?
I think it's 2-2.
It feels like 3-1 Thunder right now.
No, I think it's 2-2 because I think it's the way the Nuggets have won their 2 games has been very like we're a team that knows how to do this, whereas the Thunder cannot. I know that it was like crazy game 1, obviously, but like the championship medal of the Nuggets
DNA
deserves
DNA.
2 wins in this game.
Okay, we can go 2-2.
Yeah.
It does feel it's close to 2-2.
Yeah.
And then Pacers, Cavaliers.
I go 2.25 to 1.75.
Okay. We'll roll with that. Then Pacers, Cavs, I feel like it's 4-0.
I think it's 5-1.
4-0 Pacers is what I have it at.
5-1. Hank, do you agree with all these advanced metrics?
Yeah.
Dude, the filet mignon, well done.
Man, hey, what if...
At St. Elmo's.
Do you think that there's anything to Joe Mazzulla being really fucking happy that he was down 0-2?
I think it's just a sign of being a great coach. It instills confidence in the team when you got someone that likes to be in those situations to, inspire your players.
He likes to be drowning so he can swim to shore.
Yeah.
He wants to choke himself out.
Right. And if you're a player, that's like, all right, we know what to do.
That would be funny if the Knicks like somehow won Monday night and then Joe Mazzulla came out game 5 with just a belt around his neck, just tightening it a little bit more.
A ball gag in?
Yeah, just needs
Dressed in
just-
leather?
What happens if the Knicks do win Monday night?
Max, let me
But what
let me
happens?
ask you a question first. Do you think the Knicks are
They
going to
play
win Monday
again on
night?
Wednesday.
They can.
If the Knicks win Monday night, I'll tell you what's going to happen. If the Knicks can win Monday night, I think the Celtics will 100% win Game 5, and then it will be just pressure cooker, 2 game series. That's what if the Knicks can win Monday night. Do you agree with that?
Yeah. No, Monday night's their only shot.
Yeah, but I mean, if the Knicks win Monday, I don't think the Celtics, they can't come back from down 3-2.
That would be
3-1.
3-1. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, actually, the Knicks have to win Monday night because the only thing you don't want to do is have a 3-2 lead on the Celtics.
Correct.
'Cause then
History.
Tatum
You
will,
can't have that.
Tatum will explode.
Tatum will fucking go nuts.
You're gonna be rooting. I love this, Max. I love, and it's also
good to have
partially
you
like
back,
it's a good
Max.
mix of your absolute hatred for Hank.
Well, it makes
not-
me feel better when Max
but
is
also
rooting
the
so hard against
Villanova
me. It's like,
Knicks.
I know
Yeah.
we're in a good spot.
We got a Pope.
Max, but here's the thing. Like, this is after we got a Pope. Good point. We do have a Pope. Here's the thing, Max. This is not the series, I think. Like, I know the first 2 games happened. The Knicks kind of had to win Saturday.
Yeah, but
Like, they weirdly had to go up 3-0 because it just what happened on Saturday. Like, what's more? What can you replicate more? The Celtics have had a 20-point lead in all 3 games.
I know, but Knicks in 6.
Right. So what I'm saying is, don't put all your eggs in this basket for this series.
I know, but I can't wait till the finals. I got it. Like the
Pacers.
No, I can't have the Pacers. The Pacers are so boring.
Look at it. No,
least
they're
in
the
the-
opposite of boring.
No,
That's-
but
you don't
it-
watch ball. They're
but-
the opposite of boring.
But I'm saying, like media-wise, they're boring.
You're saying,
oh wow,
you're saying,
an ESPN exec.
Yeah.
John Skipper over here.
you're saying,
no, but I'm
you're
saying
just
that,
saying
like,
that you,
I have the Nova like ties to the Knicks. Like there's at least something there.
you're just saying that you don't watch the Pacers, so
And
they're
you don't
boring.
like that they're in Indiana.
Yeah,
traditionally.
basically.
You're saying traditionally
Yes.
they're boring. Yeah, traditionally they are boring.
Yes,
I will give you that.
Rick
Like,
Smith doesn't do anything for you.
trust me. As soon as it becomes Pacers seas, I'm all aboard the peas train. But
We got to get him a Rick Smith jersey.
yeah,
Oh, we give him a Ron Artest.
Yeah.
I just needed some juice. And
All right,
like,
Monday night.
Yeah.
Monday night. Okay, should we talk some hockey? PFT,
Yeah.
are you in trouble?
I think we might be in trouble. I might also wake
This
up.
is where
Yeah. Again, Hank picks up his phone.
I was checking one thing. I was looking at the scores.
we were talking on Thursday night, like before we recorded, because you guys were out, so it was just me and PFT and memes on the Zoom, and I was just like, it's crazy that Hank just does, like, because he doesn't watch hockey, he can't just reverse everything that PFT trolls Hank with. Like, he's going through.
I watched all these games.
But you know he's going through, like, he's down 2-1.
The difference between me and PFT is I like PFT and I root for his teams. I want the Capitals to do well.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, so what do you think we have to do, Hank, to turn the series around?
Well, I don't know hockey. You need to score more goals. You need Ovi to fucking get some Russian gas in them and fire the boys up.
The Hurricanes are annoying.
They're so annoying.
So annoying.
And
I say it as an agape guy.
And listen, yeah, we're both big time agape guys on this podcast, but they're annoying. But I mean that, and it's almost like a compliment because they're a good team.
Oh
The
yeah,
Hurricanes are a good team.
annoying. Winning annoying is a good thing.
You want
yeah.
your opponents to say that you're annoying.
Yeah.
Ovi has not played that great this series. He had a couple solid looks in the first period, but there is, like, it's crept into my head. I'm having some dark thoughts that I'm trying to pull myself out of. But I go through this with all of my teams. It doesn't matter. I always expect the worst to happen. Ovi seems like he's hit that wall at the end of the season because he's so fucking old. We saw it last year in the playoffs against the Rangers, and the same type of energy level, body language is what I'm seeing from Ovi in this
needs
series.
the Russian gas.
He needs.
Maybe he was
Hank's right. He knows puck.
Too worried about the record, not worried enough about saving himself for the playoffs.
No, they had a great season. They
go, Hank. Get it going.
They were first in the East, Hank. He had a great season.
But would you have rather had?
Should he have? Do you want your team to save itself for the playoffs?
If you're old and you need rest, yeah.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
You got him there.
He doesn't seem to have any of that juice, and I don't know. I hope that he proves me wrong and he comes out next game.
But when they were playing
fires some
nobodies
shots.
in March, he was buzzing around, scoring 2 goals a night.
Don't talk about the Blackhawks and the Islanders that
I'm
way.
just saying.
I think Tom Wilson
yeah.
is really the only guy that has been consistently great for us. And if you watched on, I think it was Friday night that
Saturday during the day.
They played. Tom Wilson had a fantastic game on Thursday too. Like, Tom has been the best player on the ice when he's out there, and he's so fun to watch. And everybody that doesn't have a Tom Wilson, they hate Tom Wilson. But if you have a Tom Wilson, you fucking love the guy. He played great on Saturday again too. The goaltending was better, but then at the end, he was a gape.
So
by
what
the
do
end of the
you?
game.
What's the fix? Is this a must win?
So I think
lose.
the mistake was I said I was going to announce on Saturday morning if it was a must win. I forgot to announce if it was a must win game.
Oh no,
big mistake
that's
on
a
my
huge
part.
mistake.
This is a must win. Monday is a must win, and
Okay.
we're 1-1 in must win games this postseason. So
Okay.
it's 50-50. It's a must win.
If you don't win on Monday, Thursday becomes a can't lose.
Thursday becomes must not even.
You can't lose.
Yeah, must not entertain the thought of losing.
Yeah.
Because I don't. What I'm worried about now is going to the game on Thursday and then having the season closed out of my face.
Right.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it'd be
That would
tough. But yeah, Hank, any other advice? Because you're right on the money when you say that we need some Russian gas. Send Ovi all the Russian gas because he needs it.
And it's Carolina. Like, we need Leafs caps.
We do need Leafs caps.
Can't have Carolina fucking Florida.
No, we can't. They shoot so much.
Because then I just don't.
Then you got nothing.
You lose me.
Yeah, and right now
No,
you're
we
locked
can't
in.
lose.
You lose
Gary
Henry
Bettman.
Lockwood.
We cannot lose Hank.
You lose Henry Lockwood.
Hank is the face of the casual hockey fan, and you will. The ratings will go down the toilet.
We
if they don't
cannot lose Hank. We also had a buzzer beater on Saturday night.
It was sick.
Insane.
Insane.
Do we want to debate how it could actually be a buzzer beater with time still on the clock? I was joking. No, we don't.
There was 0.4
Why are you looking like
there
we
was
don't?
0.4 seconds left on the clock.
So I don't know what Skinner was doing in that moment. I don't know hockey. I'm not an expert, but it feels like the goalie's job there is to put their leg firmly on the post and make sure nothing gets by him in that angle. And he comes so far out, and It was crazy. It
was
a
an own
buzzer
goal
beater.
too.
What? Yeah.
His own goal.
Yeah, Draisaitl, he's trying to make a play. Just kind of got stuck there. But that was nuts.
It was crazy how the camera inside of the goal made it look like it bounced off the post in
Yeah.
real time, and then they had to go back and
Well,
look
the
at
announcers were like,
They didn't know.
they had no idea.
yeah.
And then some of the guys on they were celebrating on the ice, and then they looked at the review and very clearly it was a goal, but still weird that it was able to like bounce out like that. What happened was on that play, it was the shot fake that drew the goalie out.
But
Because
still, you have to know time and place.
in the goalie's head, he's like, "Oh, there's 1 second left. Surely he's going to
Right.
rip the slap shot and not take, not try to skate around to the side and get on the side of the crease." So in his mind, he's like, "This is their final chance. I have to come out, make the angle as small as possible."
And maybe hockey people will tell me I'm way off, but it does seem as simple as like you have to have the post there.
But that's understandable what PFT's saying. Is like he was trying to stop the slap shot. 'Cause
I understand.
He assumed that's the last shot of the game.
He came so far.
It was a
out.
great fake shot.
No, but he could have. He didn't have to. He
The
came
overhead
out.
angle, he comes out of the camera.
He came out of the crease. Like he came too far out before the fake. Like he was just out of position. Like right there. That's fine. But then, like you have to get back. He's so far out of the.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. I don't know how that. I mean, and listen, the Oilers are up 2-1, but that's the type of game that's like you didn't have, but you just can't lose like that.
Yeah.
Whitney must have been just
He was.
Oh,
he
his
was
Twitter Spaces was
buried.
sad, but
very funny.
It's been a sad couple days for the boys.
Yeah. So Biz,
Biz is a great looking guy. He dresses sharp on TNT, and then I was watching the coverage on Friday, and he looked like a used car salesman. Like he didn't shave. He looked like he woke up late, didn't have time to shower. His
I
suit,
disavow all these.
his
comments.
suit was in his car, and he just threw it on. No, I don't know.
So now you're the judge of aura.
He did it.
Wait,
no,
so you're just judging everyone's fashion today?
I'm not judging.
Are you
I'm,
a fashionista?
I'm assuming Biz. It's like a bit that he's doing because it's like he usually dresses very sharp. Like he didn't even shave or anything. Like it was. I think it's an intentional thing that he's doing, like a playoff beard or I don't know, because he wore the same outfit again tonight.
I think he looks great. Well, Biz is just a good-looking guy.
He is. He's one of those guys that's so handsome that when he dresses poorly on purpose, it makes him look even better.
Yeah. The Leafs had no chance tonight because Jans hit the drum. He was and we got to get Jans on. He hit the drum for the Panthers. That was it.
And he banged the Biz Idiot shirt.
Yeah.
Which is a great shirt.
Yeah. So that was and it did feel because when was game 3 was Friday night. Marchand in OT. That was where the Leafs, if they could have won that game, found a way to win that game, then it's like, all right, you should not fully leaf this. And I'm not saying they've leafed it yet because his home team has won both games and it's been very competitive. But now it gets a little tighter for the Leafs.
And there's a little bit of chippiness.
Oh, yeah.
Max Domi with the cross check.
On
His
Barkov,
time expired, and now it looks like they hate each other, which I like.
That was a bad cross check.
Here's what I'll say is this series has juice.
Yeah.
This series is fun to watch.
Big time juice.
As a casual hockey watcher and enjoyer, the Caps Kane series, is there any juice there at all? No juice in it.
No.
I need something exciting. What scares me about this matchup too is it feels like the Hurricanes get as many chances shorthanded as the Caps do on the power play. The Canes they are always looking to break out, which makes you nervous when you're on the power play. It's a very uncomfortable team to play against.
Yeah. Last series, my only thing is the Jets aren't going to win this series because Hellebuck on the road stinks.
Yeah.
He gave up 5 goals. He's just not good on the road.
Do they bench him?
They did not bench him, but they should bench him
Yeah.
because he's not good on the road. And the Stars are really good. Rantanen is continuing to stay on fire. I think he had a goal.
Assist and a goal?
He had 2 assists and a goal.
Yeah.
He's in the zone. We got to get Jans on. We got to talk.
And
talk
Dallas does look like a confirmed good hockey town too.
Yeah.
I like the green bracelets that they hand out to everybody.
Yeah.
It feels kind of like you're in a strip club.
And this is one of those situations. I know this is stupid to judge your sports this way, but I do. Like the Stars fans had to deal with Luka being traded,
Right.
and the Cowboys. Like I'm not gonna. if I'm going to root for any Dallas sports success, it would be the Stars.
What about the Rangers?
Rangers don't really care.
It was kind of cool when they won the series.
Yeah, it was, but I'm just saying, like, I don't. Yeah,
Who'd they play against in the series?
they played against.
Was that the Diamondbacks?
Yes,
Yeah.
that was when the
Diamondbacks beat the Phillies.
choked
Yeah.
and gave up a 3-1
remember that.
lead in the NLCS.
That's crazy that the Diamondbacks were in the
3-1?
World Series.
One
Dude, who
lead.
cares? That happens all the time.
Not at the bank.
Those are just not the same. Not whatever. I don't. Why am I defending that?
Wait,
but-
what?
I mean, Hank just tried to compare 3-1 to 3-2 like they're the same thing.
3-1 though, but that's
3-1 is bad.
really bad at the bank.
Correct.
That was Max overalls.
Schwarber had 2 bombs tonight.
I look
I
ridiculous.
did see that. Kyle Schwarber, sneaky MVP.
Yeah,
People
playing
should start
well. He's
talking
leading the league
about
in
it.
home runs.
Media should start talking about it.
National Sports Podcast.
National Sports Podcast should start talking about it. Kyle Schwarber, MVP, leading the league in home runs. Just something to think about. Just something to think about. You guys want to talk a little football? Because I got a couple things.
Yeah, I got one thing.
Yeah, Derek Carr retired.
He did retire. Yeah.
So I tweeted out that I'm going to be sad, and I understand people. The majority of the reaction was like, "Dude, who cares? If he's on your team, you don't like him. Like he's just good enough to just piss you off." One, we're a little biased because we actually enjoyed our interview with Derek Carr very much. Two, Derek Carr is in that camp. He's like a half a version of Phillip Rivers. Do you know what I mean? Like you know what you're getting from Derek Carr, and he will provide you with some funny moments. And that is worth something to me.
A guy that's been around that long
Yeah.
and that is consistent. Yeah, there's value in that as
Right.
an NFL fan.
And he'll make a weird face. He'll have the mascara. He'll throw a funny interception. He'll also throw like a perfect drop it in a bucket touchdown.
He'll like dive into a guy when he's scrambling for a first down and it's like 3rd and 12 and
Yeah.
he's gotten 7 yards and he'll just dive into a guy and get injured.
He'll cover a spread against the Chiefs.
But he'll really try to get you that first down that was impossible to get.
So I'm going to miss him. And he did have that stretch of his from like, I think it was 2014, 15, 16. He was good. He was good. And it's just, I also wonder, is he fully retired?
I don't know. So
Or is he just trying to not play on the Saints?
I think he's just trying to not have surgery.
Okay.
He's just avoiding surgery at any cost, which is very relatable.
I also think this helps the Saints because I saw he was taking his bonus this year, but
Okay.
it's going to help them overall in the cap.
You would have liked to probably know this. Well, I was going to say you would have liked to know it
drafted a quarterback.
before the draft, but you drafted a quarterback anyways.
Yeah.
Maybe you would have liked to know this before free agency.
Yeah.
That's the one thing you can say. But
Aaron
if
Rodgers.
if you're looking for a Derek Carr replacement,
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta's got a perfectly good Derek Carr
That's
replacement
true.
just sitting on the bench.
That's true.
Maybe the most Derek Carr replacement that there is.
Kirk Cousins is a little better than Derek Carr, but yes, I agree.
But he's like the
Yeah, he is. He's
same
an
guy-
upgrade.
Yeah, it's like finely tuned.
Yeah.
Derek Carr.
Yeah,
If he's healthy, is waiting in Atlanta.
I would agree.
Pick up the phone.
I would
Although
agree.
they probably wouldn't trade him in the division, would they? Definitely not to the
I think
Saints.
they maybe would.
Really? I feel like the hatred between the Falcons and the Saints is high enough where you're not going to do a deal.
Are you though?
For a starting quarterback?
So I agree on paper what you're saying. Do you think the Falcons are scared of Kirk Cousins?
If they do trade him, that tells you a lot. How about that one?
That's what I'm thinking.
That's the take that
Like
you
I
gotta go
think
with.
there could be a chance that phone gets picked up because they're like, "Hey, he's not going to hurt us."
I think that they might be afraid of a Cousins scorned.
I would
Like
be.
a Kirk Cousins revenge tour.
I think Kirk Cousins still has a couple moments left.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
Yeah,
if he's healthy.
yeah. But yeah, I'm going to be sad. Derek Carr was like a dependable guy we can joke about.
Yep.
And so when you lose one, don't you agree? He's like 40% of a Phillip Rivers.
Yeah, I mean, he was never as hilarious as Phillip
No,
Rivers
no,
was.
no. The 40% in play and in hilarity.
Yeah, and he was a guy that he played for some very dysfunctional front offices.
Yep.
And he was pretty cool about it. He didn't really say anything publicly.
Oh,
even
he
though
seems like a
he had
pretty
like
good
every
teammate.
opportunity to do that. But you could see it the way that he wore it on his face and shoulders during games. Some of those Raiders games, he'd come to the sideline and you would almost feel bad for Derek Carr.
Yeah. All right. What was your story?
I was going to say big story. it's schedule release week
Yeah.
this week.
Yeah.
And it is truly a week-long event, Big Cat.
Yep.
Because even though we found out when the schedule release was going to be during the schedule release during the NFL draft, it appears that they're trickling out some of the games for us.
Okay.
So on Monday, we're going to get at least one game on the Today Show that they're going to
Oh,
announce.
hell yes.
We know Chiefs, Chargers.
On Fox,
I saw the leak.
We're gonna get one
I
on-
saw the leak of Commanders Dolphins in Spain.
is that real?
That's I just saw the leak.
I heard that.
Vamos.
¿Dónde está en España? In Barcelona?
Yeah, in Barcelona.
Jaden Daniel?
Oh, congrats! Barcelona won today.
Yeah, fuck that. How they? My friend texted me. He's like, "We're back on Barcelona today, right?" I was like, "How are they? The Champions League isn't even over. What league is this?"
I wish they did the. I'm gonna say I don't like
Cancel
how they're doing
Barcelona.
this. PFT. I don't like that they're slowly trickling out the schedule. I would prefer if the NFL, instead of telling us when the schedule comes, just one day we wake up and they hit us with the
A
schedule.
surprise schedule?
Yeah, because then you wouldn't have leaks.
So it is in Madrid?
That's the leak.
Okay. I should go there with Frank.
So it's a week now? I just want the schedule.
So, we're going to get another game on Fox on Monday. We're going to get a Prime Video announcement on Monday. That's today as the show comes out. Then Tuesday on Good Morning America, we'll get another one. And then Wednesday on CBS and Netflix, they'll be announcing some of them.
All right, so we have a new goal.
On Netflix,
We need to someday
Oh, the Netflix game is going to be...
have the NFL respect us so much that we get to release a game.
One game?
One game.
Titans Jaguars.
I'll
game.
take the worst game you got.
Give us a Titans Jaguars game, and we'll release it.
All right, so when is the actual release is Wednesday?
I believe so.
Okay, so on Friday's show, when we tape on Thursday, we'll do a Mount Rushmore of games of the 2025 season.
Yeah, I like that. Max is not a schedule release guy. He hates the schedule release.
Max doesn't like football.
But he doesn't.
You know who you play.
You fail to understand.
You don't. It's
No, but
Max,
it's how
the
it lines up,
the schedule.
dude.
The schedule release is for fans to look at and get really fucking mad that the league screwed them over because they have to play like 3 road games in December.
And you get to go win, loss, all the way down the list.
yeah.
But you know who you play
you
and where
don't know.
you play
No,
them.
but it's all because when you do the actual schedule, if you're like, you can't, it's all art to it. Where it's like, if you do 3 wins in a row, you're gonna have to throw a loss in there.
And you get to complain because if you're like the Niners, we have to play 2 East Coast games in a row. I wonder if we're going to stay at the Greenbrier.
This is a thing for shitty teams to get excited about.
Yep.
Thank you, Hank.
Yeah, Max.
All right, Hank and I are back.
Max, you just have to keep winning, right?
Oh,
Right, Max?
I did not say we have
Keep
to keep
winning.
winning.
you don't
I just
know
said we're
when
not a
you're
shitty
gonna
team.
want to play. Like, I want to know when the Bears are playing, like Thursday and Monday night games.
We're gonna have every one of our games are gonna be prime time.
I bet you won't.
Okay, probably,
Looks
maybe
like I
not
won that
every
bet.
single one. We'll
So-
probably have
Max, you do play opening day, right? Thursday night?
probably
Kick the season off. Usually the Super Bowl winner does. I think they might do it. I think it might be me and you opening night.
PFT, how on a scale of 1 to I'm gonna be 1 to this is bullshit and disrespectful. What if it was Eagles Cowboys?
They might do that.
Yeah, would that be bullshit and disrespectful?
No, I don't want to play opening night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Opening night would be fun for the show.
It would be great for the show.
Great for the show.
I think there's a good chance it's the Cowboys just because it's,
No,
it's the Dallas Cowboys.
I think
but
Commanders makes more sense just off of Jaden Daniels. Like, Cowboys are a bummer.
yeah, but they're the Cowboys.
They are the Cowboys. But then, no, now that I'm saying it, it'll be the Commanders because they'll save the Cowboys for Sunday Night Football.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'll just hit that button. What are you looking up, Max?
We play the Chiefs again. They could just run that back. Lions. They could do.
Play the Bears?
Yeah, I think maybe the Lions.
Oh, yeah, Lions could make sense. All right, my other NFL news was I just love this part of the season, the minicamp season, where every draft pick looks awesome. You have guys, tackles getting into their set, not blocking anyone. Everyone's like, look at them move their feet. You have
Stretches even. Like look how deep he gets in that lunge.
I watched a clip of Abdul Carter doing a drill work. Everyone's like, look at this speed. It's fucking insane.
He should be wearing number 56.
Yeah, we have QBs with no pass rush, throwing the ball. Shedeur Sanders out there throwing the ball.
Shedeur Sanders being the last one off the practice field.
Last one off the practice field. But my favorite thing from this week of mini camps, where everyone is in love with every pick and everyone looks awesome, and this is how sports should work. Like, you should have maximum excitement. Brian Dable this was a quote from Jay Fowler, ESPN. Brian Dable is really excited about this guy talking about Jackson Dart. More excited about him than really any other quarterback since Josh Allen that he's worked with. So, just so we're clear, Brian Dable is more excited about Jackson Dart than he was to work with Daniel Jones, Davis Webb, Drew Lock, Tommy DeVito, and Tyrod Taylor.
And Jameis.
Well, I guess he hasn't. He's working with both of them right now.
And Russell. Definitely Russell. More excited to work with.
Yeah, I mean, I don't
Jackson
count the
than
guys.
Russell.
Yeah.
But yeah, the list that he's had in the past. I guess year one, Daniel Jones, he was probably a little bit excited about
Maybe
that.
a little excited.
But you got to be excited. Fresh lump of clay
Yeah.
to mold into what you want him to be.
Yeah.
He didn't draft Daniel Jones, right? Did he?
No.
So
he
yeah,
inherited
that's-
Daniel Jones. Yeah. But he's more
So
excited.
obviously
for
the person
Jackson
he's
Dart.
excited to
Yes,
is
correct.
the person that he drafted.
And also, he's more excited about Jackson Dart than a list of shitty quarterbacks that he. Actually, no disrespect to
Tommy DeVito.
Tommy DeVito. And then the last NFL thing. Did you guys see Anthony Richardson's tattoo?
No, but let me look it up real quick.
I didn't. Apparently, he really loves gambling because he got a giant roulette wheel on his back, and he had to be put under for this tattoo.
Got like temporarily euthanized for it.
There's cards. There's a roulette wheel. It was Anthony Richardson sit on McAfee's show. He was put to sleep while getting a back tattoo this offseason. 7 hours, 4 artists.
This thing is sick.
I know it is sick.
Yeah.
It's his love of football and gambling.
Football, gambling.
Yeah, I mean,
We should get
I
that
might
tattoo.
get this tattoo.
The NFL shield.
Lions.
back.
The lion.
Gladiators.
His name, just in case anyone forgets. That's important.
I love that he's got
He's
the
also
shield.
a huge fan of the Four Aces. That's dope.
Yeah.
And who are the four aces again, Hank?
Four Aces are Dustin Johnson, Patrick Reed, Harold Varner, and Peters, Thomas Peters.
Yep. Okay. You got
Bang.
it. First time.
Got it.
No, that is a sick tattoo. I have a take, and that's if you get sedated you shouldn't get sedated for a tattoo as a man.
Yeah.
And I say this as kind of a low-key tattoo addict. Big Cat, you same way. I would never.
I'm going to get another one this week.
I would never get sedated for a tattoo.
Is that okay with you, Hank? Don't worry. I'll wear my sweatshirt so you don't have to see it. My black sweatshirt. Fashion police coming at me. You look like fuck. You're wearing the same fucking shit as me.
What do you think about Tatum's tattoos, Hank?
Tatum has sick tattoos.
So much aura. Mm-hmm. So much aura.
He also has his name on his back.
Does he have cards and a roulette wheel?
Wait, doesn't he have a weird trophy? What did he get? Oh no! What did he get?
Him holding the Larry O'Brien trophy.
No, it was something else. What is it? Is it the All-Star MVP?
No.
What is it? It is the All-Star MVP, isn't it? Is that right?
He's got a lot of tattoos.
Is it the
could have
All-Star
been- it could be
MVP,
any
Hank?
of the I don't know which tattoo you're
I'm
talking
pretty
about.
sure he has the All-Star
There's a
MVP.
lot of
I just have a
tattoos.
vague memory of
He's got a
him
lot
getting a
of
tattoo of
tattoos.
some-
Oh, Tatum
it?
posted on his Snapchat that he got an All-Star Game MVP tattoo.
Oh man, Hank.
That's aura.
Oh no. He's got Kobe's number?
Oh yeah, Big Cat, here it is.
Yep. That's the All-Star MVP. The most illustrious award in all of sports.
Well, it's the Kobe Bryant. Oh, that's the name of the award.
Oh,
So respect Kobe.
Yeah.
he just got so he could text it to him.
Oh, it's a snake? Oh no, that's the someone
Mamba.
someone
Ever heard of
said
it?
mine is better. Oh, it is snake. Okay. Did you guys see? Or let's do who's back of the week. Let's do who's back of the week. I got a couple of them. Who's back of the week is brought in after who's back of the week, or after Rachel Nichols. We're gonna do jordOn of the week, and Max has gifts for
Thank
us.
God.
Hank personally requested that we do jordOn of the week. Who's back of the week is brought to you by Truly Unruly Lemonade. Combines the high alc fun of Truly Unruly with everyone's favorite lemonade. It's the official hard seltzer. Pardon my take. Lemonade let loose. 8% ABV. 100% delicious. 4 supercharged lemonade flavors. Bumpin' Blue Raz, OG Original Lemonade, Punched Up Pineapple, Wild Pink. Level up your lemonade with Truly Unruly. Find Truly Unruly at a store near you or visit trulyhardseltzer.com. We love Truly. It is summertime. We're golfing. We're BBQ, beach, baseball, everything. Everything's better with Truly. 8% ABV, 100% delicious. Leave it up to your lemonade with Level up your lemonade with Truly Unruly. Find Truly Unruly lemonade at a store near you or visit trulyhardseltzer.com. Hank.
My news back of the week is Rafael Devers.
Oh.
Okay.
He was in the news at the end of last week. It was kind of a bad translation. He kind of got a bang job with the translator.
That keeps happening to him, right?
Yeah, it's he's getting misquoted, misrepresented, but he basically Red
Bet a bunch of money on sports.
Had
and
a
then,
bunch of injuries. Nope, a bunch of injuries, and he was asked to play first base. He was in an interview saying, "I don't know what the hell the GM's thinking," saying he's essentially not going to move to first base. The translation was more he's like, I know I'm a ball player. I know I'm supposed to be able to play positions. It's just not that easy. Mm-hmm. But then he's since gone 7 for 12. Hit a go-ahead home run today.
Didn't this happen in spring training too?
Kind of. When we signed Bregman, he was like, I'm not switching positions.
And then he did it again?
No, but then we went through the interview and then Hank said, no, he's not. He's saying he wasn't saying that he refuses to switch positions.
Got it. But he did it again recently.
The recent one's the one I'm talking about, where the quote.
So he just doesn't. You just
He
can't
was
ask him to
told
play a different
said he
position.
was told in spring training to put away your glove. You're going to be DHing. Obviously, injuries happen. They're like, hey, you might need to play first base. And he was kind of like, no.
He's like, I put away my glove.
Yeah.
Got it.
But that's,
Make up your mind.
They told him to put away his glove, yeah.
They're flip-flopping.
Got it.
But now he's raking. So, haters silenced.
Haters.
All the haters, yeah.
Seems like he's creating the haters by doing dumb quots.
Well, the media is misquoting him. Translation.
The media's
bang
at
job.
fault here.
Media bang job.
Okay. PFT.
My who's back of the week is guys who play a lot of golf that think that they can dunk.
Yeah, I had that as well.
So Harry Higgs, they call him Big Rig, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
He said, I am of the belief that he's a golfer.
They had a 2-hour rain delay. So that he was like, what'd you do during the rain delay? Mm-hmm. And he said he got in a heated discussion with his caddy.
Yeah. He was telling his caddy that if he gets, I think, 2 years of training, he can dunk. He said, I am of the belief that you can train yourself to do anything. I think somebody brought up a marathon. I think a marathon would be easier. And I know looking at me, that sounds ridiculous. I've been getting stronger in the gym, more explosive to hit the ball further, start to hit it further. I said it in passing. It's not a couple years. I think I could do it within a decade. He's 33. I think he can do it.
He's right.
I think this guy can do it.
too.
I think that
How old are you, Hank?
31.
I think Harry Higgs, if he believes that he can dunk,
Soon. 32.
Yeah.
I believe that he can, with training, he can figure out how to dunk.
Yeah.
I believe in this
I'd
guy.
agree.
I agree. He's right.
You're
It's like-
close to being old.
Yeah, no, I'm there.
And how tall?
I
We're
was
going to flip this on you soon.
I was on the East Coast furious
So you're even
about how late
older.
the games were on.
Yeah.
So I think he can dunk too.
I think he can do. Also, I think he's 6'2",
Oh.
which helps. Hank, what are you?
6.
5'10"? You're 6 feet? Yeah. I mean,
thought
you got
were
close.
32.
What?
I thought you said you were 32.
I'm 6 feet.
Oh, 6 feet. I think
I turned
6
30 in
years
2
old.
weeks.
That sucks.
Max.
Your
You
life's
gotta-
over, Max.
I've felt like I've been 30 for the past 3 years.
You're also... No, I'm not going to say it.
You're going to say my body is like...
No. That's actually not what I was going to say. Your look is that of a older man.
Yeah. That's the same thing.
No, it's not.
Some people like that look.
No, I don't think... No, that's not. That's not.
I think with the soul patch, you look like you're 21.
You look older
If
than
you really
are.
want to, if you want to, like,
Yeah, true.
I don't care about it. I don't care about...
if you want to embrace your youth, shave the beard.
Nah.
Soul patch.
I got grays in the beard, which is nice.
But what I love about this Harry Higgs thing is that it was literally the exact same debate with Hank of like running a marathon or dunking.
Yeah.
And he's like, dunking's easier.
Dunking's way easier.
I believe him. I believe Harry Higgs.
Not true. You could easily run a marathon, Hank.
Yeah,
You could easily run a marathon.
actually.
Yes.
Not fast, but I could.
Who cares?
I could do a marathon
Dude,
tomorrow.
People run marathons in 6
what?
hours.
What'd you just say?
I could
Run a marathon tomorrow.
Yeah.
Like run one. Run the entire time.
Yeah, like 15-minute pace, but yeah.
That's walking.
I don't think you could run a marathon.
What's the definition of running?
People do run marathons in like 6 hours, and then they post on Instagram like, did it. Like, no, you didn't. 6 hour marathon is not doing it.
I think it would have to be 12-minute mile or better. That counts as running a marathon.
Sub 5?
I'm going to tell you what
I mean, I'm not doing, like, I have no interest in running a marathon, but I could.
I respect
How confident are you in the Celtics to win this series?
Extremely.
Oh. If they don't win, you got to run a marathon.
And if they do,
win,
Max does.
Max soul
Yep.
patch.
I'm not part of this. I'm not
You just
part
asked
of
me the
this.
question.
Yeah,
I asked
soul
you the
patch,
question.
Max.
I think the Celtics are going to win.
Soul patch.
All right, so if we don't, we'll both run a marathon, me and Max.
Nope.
Yeah, that sounds fair.
No.
Wait,
Then
you guys equally think they're going to win the
Yeah.
series?
You
Hanks,
guys want me rooting for the Celtics?
Hanks, yeah, actually, yeah.
No.
No, I
Just so we're
remember
back.
you did. Celtic Max was funny. I don't even remember why that came up,
I forget why that came out.
but it was very.
Oh, that
funny
was that was last year. They
Yeah.
just keep- whatever.
all right, my who's back of the week. I have a couple. Theranos is back
Yeah, she is.
because Elizabeth Holmes is in prison, but she is consulting with her husband on a new startup, and part of the new startup is apparently a blood droplet that can tell like how healthy you are.
Yeah, it's a great idea.
They're literally
It could
running
change
it
the
back.
game.
Yeah, it's incredible.
I want to see what she cooks up.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
I'll be honest. I can't get enough of everything that she like all these fraud stories.
Yeah, they're the best.
I love the fraud stories.
yeah. So the article says the technology can also conduct diagnostic tests using a small sample of blood.
Okay.
She's just literally running it back again.
She was just her only crime was being like 5 years too soon.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, it's Firefest too.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing. My other who's back is the Rockies because they fired Bud Black.
so back.
So they lost 21-0 against the Padres on Saturday night. Before that game, the GM of the Rockies said, guys are working hard every day. They come with energy for the most part. I don't think we were at the point of firing Bud Black. Guys will still believe in what we were doing and that we're headed. And where we're headed, we're all frustrated. They lost 21-0 to the Padres. They fired Bud Black. That idiot Dick Monfort then had a basically release a statement just being like, why are the boys coming in here? We got jordOn of the week. They jumped the gun.
They love being on camera.
They do. The Rockies owner, Dick Monfort, said, our play so far this season, especially coming off the last two seasons, has been unacceptable. Our fans deserve better, and we are capable of better. Are you, dude?
This just seems to me like he was having a bad time coaching a bad team, and so they said some of the players and him aren't getting along great, so we're going to fire him in hopes that they like the next guy a little bit better.
They did win on Sunday.
Yeah,
They got their 7th win of the season. It is May 11th. They got their 7th win of the season.
so they're
7th win of the season. I'm
7
pretty
and
sure the
33.
Dodgers had 7 wins 1 week in.
Yeah, I mean nothing's going to change.
No,
With this
they're
team.
bad. Really bad. We got to start betting against them
You make some good money.
to make some good money.
Take away all their pinstripes.
Yeah, we should do alternate lines too because I feel like every night they lose like 10-1. It's crazy. Maybe this is a new thing. And
Historically, he's not a terrible manager.
No, he's not.
outside of what he's done with the Rockies.
correct. And the Rockies, the owner, Dick Monfort, being like, we're all trying to find out how this happened. It's you, dude.
Yeah.
You're the piece of shit. Also, Nico Harrison's a piece of shit. I said that I would say that once a week.
It's a good reminder.
So, also, the Sphere's back. I went this weekend. It was awesome. You guys got to
It
go.
does seem pretty incredible.
It was awesome.
I've had so many random people that I'm like friends with just ask me out of nowhere, have you been to the Sphere yet? Like it's a place that I have to go.
It was awesome. And shout out to all the AWLs I saw. Sorry if all I could do was take a picture and not have a conversation. My head was full of mushrooms. I had a couple weird encounters. But I think also it was like I think they also had their
it's
head
the
full of
Sphere.
mushrooms. Yeah. So but it was a lot of people that I talked to, maybe not talked to, more like hey, like that.
Sphere.
Kind of made a sound. Yeah, and did a fist bump.
This is crazy.
Took a picture. Yeah, isn't this awesome? But yes, it is very awesome.
That's the look in your eye you get when Aaron Rodgers wins MVP.
Yeah, this is the mushrooms. Yeah, it was sick though. Mayor, awesome. whole thing is awesome. You guys got to go to the Sphere.
I gotta go.
I'm down.
Got to go.
Who else is playing at the Sphere?
Kenny Chesney, Backstreet Boys,
We need Bill.
Billy Strings. Think he could sell out the Sphere?
Yeah.
By the way, Vegas.
How many?
20,000. Vegas, a 48-hour Vegas trip. I've done this now 2 years in a row going to the Sphere. It's the best. That's how you do it. Just fly in Friday, fly out Sunday morning. It's great. I'm back in on Vegas. I was out on Vegas for a little bit. I'm back in on Vegas.
Especially when you have like an itinerary.
Right. I want to announce. Yeah, with a show. I went to I went to a nice dinner. I golfed. I got a cabana.
Get a good meal. Oh, I mean,
I maximized my 48
that's
hours.
a dream.
Yeah, it was a great 48 hours in Vegas. So
The Eagles are playing there.
Yeah, Eagles.
I feel like if I'm going to go to the Sphere, though, I'm going to want to go
dead.
for dead. Yeah.
Yeah, next year. Hopefully they do one more year. I think they will.
Are they done for this year?
They have one more weekend, and then they might add shows, but I don't know. If they add shows, maybe we'll go. But
I would go.
awesome.
I would go to the Sphere to see the Eagles with Chris Berman.
I would also.
That would be a great time.
Yeah. Okay. Let's get to our interview with Rachel Nichols.
Before we get to Rachel Nichols, she's brought to you by McDonald's all new McCrispy strips. New McCrispy strips are here. It's chicken that's made for dipping. Tender, juicy white meat chicken with golden brown peppery breading. It's chicken so good it deserves its own sauce. The creamy chili McCrispy strip dip. A sauce that's creamy, savory, and sweet with a little heat, but it works with any of their sauces. The McDonald's all new McCrispy strips are so good. The meat is delicious. Memes brought some in, had me do an ad read with him, took a bite. Memes tried to take the rest of the box away. I said, Memes, you leave that right here. This is going to be my lunch. And then they brought in some more.
Yep.
These things are legit. One of
They're
my
the
favorite things
best.
at McDonald's. You're going to love them. If you love chicken, if you love juicy white meat chicken, if you love golden brown peppery breading, that's what it's all about with the all-new McCrispy strips. With the creamy chili McCrispy strip dip, it's chicken that's made for dipping. And guess what? It's only at McDonald's. Rachel Nichols is also brought to you by our great friends over at Game Time. NHL and NBA playoffs are here, and Game Time is the best place to get last-minute tickets for the lowest price. The NBA playoffs, they've got killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from your seat, and their lowest price guarantee. Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying NBA playoff tickets. Hank, can we look up, let's see, what game should we look up here?
I'm going to look up Knicks at Celtics Game 5. How about that?
Game 5,
Will you be there?
Beantown.
I might. I think I'm looking at these Game Time tickets, and they're looking pretty good.
Are you going to be on the wood?
I don't know where I'm going to sit. I'm looking at Game Time right now. I could get in the building for as cheap as $230.
$230 to get in, see the Celtics against the Knicks. Take advantage right now because prices on the app actually go down the closer it gets to tip-off. So if you're looking for last-minute tickets, you can save up to 60% when buying these last-minute tickets. If you're looking at those Celtics, looking at those Knicks, if you're looking out west, maybe Denver Thunder, check it out on Game Time. You'll get the best prices, and you can take the guesswork out of buying those tickets. All you have to do is download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code PMT for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code PMT, get $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. What time is it? Game time. And now here's Rachel Nichols.
Okay, we now welcome on a very good friend of the show, very special guest. It's been too long. It is Rachel Nichols, longtime friend. You can see her on Fox Sports. You can hear her on Headliners with Rachel Nichols, All the Smoke Productions. Rachel, it's great talking to you. We have the NBA playoffs, and I have one pressing question to start. You probably don't have an answer, but I still want to hear what you have to say. Are we going to see Steph Curry again in these playoffs?
So in the last game, Ant talks a lot of trash, right? And he's trying to go at it with Gary Payton Jr. and all this stuff. And he's like, you're just trying to get to a game 6 so Steph can come save you. And GP's like, yeah, that's it. Yes. So he's going to be reevaluated on Monday. It does not sound like he would play the next game. Maybe they've got a 3-day rest break after that. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to get that far. What do you think?
Yeah,
I don't know. It seems like they're pulling all the levers that they can, where they're getting like everybody involved, trying out every single possible combination of guys to run out there just to see if something works, if they can maybe steal a game.
I thought that they were going to do this strategy of trying to steal one of these next couple and then get to the 3-day break And it just sucks because like watching the Warriors without Steph, it turns out he's really damn good, and they kind of need him because I think I saw a stat that they were like the first team in the NBA playoffs who were leading at half without making a three or something last night.
Yeah, which is amazing for the Warriors, right?
Right. So it's just totally different, and I want to see the best players play. All right, so that was a bummer that you gave me that answer. I was hoping you were like, yeah, you know what? He's playing on Monday night. This is going to be awesome.
I find that very hard to believe.
The other thing about that series, and I saw you tweeting about it as well, Julius Randle he might be like the best change of scenery guy ever because what he's done with the Wolves. I mean, you've talked to people in the league, like, is he as beloved as it seems in that locker room and how seamlessly he's fit in? Because it was rough to start, but now he's so good for them.
I'm so happy for him. He's a great guy, first of all. I've always liked talking to him. The trade happened. It was definitely disconcerting for him, his family, all of that stuff. It didn't start out well in Minnesota. And then he got hurt. And in that time off, I think it gave him a minute to sort of settle and kind of know how the team works. And the whole time, the guys in the room were just pumping him up. Anthony Edwards, we need him. Wait till Julius Randle gets back, all that stuff. And now I was with the Timberwolves last week. He's like the mayor in there a lot of the time. And it's just so fun to see like a good person doing well, beloved by the people who should love him. And I couldn't be happier for him. I think he's great.
Yeah, and it looks like Minnesota probably has the upper hand, especially if Steph isn't coming back.
Yeah. Turns out Steph Curry is important if you want to play basketball.
Very important. Very, very important. So the other series in the West, what is it about the Nuggets and the Thunder that each team is capable of making the other team the worst version of themselves?
Yeah. That was a nice game today, right?
Oh, yeah, it was gross.
Scored 2 points in the first quarter.
It was funny watching that game because there will be people who complain about the scoring getting out of control in the NBA, and then you watch a game like that, like, people are like, oh, I miss 90s basketball, and then you watch that where no one can hit a three, you're like, yeah, I'd prefer seeing the games in the 120s.
It's not so fun.
Yeah.
By the way, we're kind of getting a little 90s basketball back, though, because they're calling nothing.
Yeah.
Right?
Which I like.
Yeah.
I like, but it was mostly like about the air balls in the first half. I haven't seen that many air balls in an NBA game in a long time. For some reason, each team sees the other team. They're like, the shots just aren't going to fall.
See, I thought you were going to make an off-color joke with the air balls, but look at you.
I'm growing up. I'm growing up.
No, I mean, it's ridiculous. And the guys are buying each other around and just, kind of really doing a lot of these guys have free reign, and you don't see it the moment the shot comes off, but you see it right before that. And then it sort of sets the guy up to not have his correct shot. I mean, there's definitely an expression in basketball. Hey, they can't call them all.
Right.
So if you just keep going and fouling, eventually the refs are going to be, that one wasn't so bad. And I think we're seeing a lot more of that in these playoffs, and we're seeing that in that series.
Yeah, and it's clearly bothered Jokic. I mean, he hasn't played to his standard, which is not. It's unfair how good he is, and then when he has like 20 and 13, everyone's like, "Damn, he sucks now." But the last two games. He had,
what the fuck?
Yeah, he got his teammates kind of picked him up on Friday night in the overtime win, and then tonight he was not good, and he missed 2 big free throws, and it's like, I don't know, he's got to be great for them to be great. Do you have an MVP vote?
I do.
And who'd you vote for?
I actually voted for Shea,
Okay.
and it was a very, very, very hard vote. I mean, it really came down to like this, and it came down to because Jokic is. I think Jokic is the best player in the world. So it came down to was the Thunder had 18 more wins than the Nuggets.
Right.
And at some point, I don't always vote for the guy who's the highest in the standings, but at some point that matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
And to lead a young team to those kind of numbers, I was really impressed. I still think there should be a separate award for who the best player is in the NBA because we don't have one. And it's funny, I filled out my awards ballot this year, and I had to choose who the 9th best rookie in the NBA was this year. My vote in the record books for all time on who in 2025 was the 9th best rookie. That's going down in the books, but not who the best player was. And there's, years it's MJ, there's years it was LeBron, and they didn't win the MVP every time. And it's just sort of strange to me because there's already kids out there who've never seen Jordan play and just downplay everything he did. He wasn't that good. Kind of like our generation does with Kareem a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And all we have in the end is the record books, and the record books are going to show that Kobe Bryant won 1 MVP.
Right.
And he obviously had a huge impact on the league. I don't know why we don't have an award for this. The NFL differentiates between MVP and offensive and defensive player.
Mm-hmm.
The NHL has MVP and then, the scoring and the goal scoring and whatever. We don't have that.
It's true, because especially now that we have like clutch player of the year, which they do the clutch minutes analytics and everything, but like, why can't we have a just like top dog or alpha of the year? Like just who's the best player, and then the MVP can be something different where it's like, yeah, this guy brought his team to the most wins, most impactful on his team, because I agree. There's definitely a difference to those two things.
We have one on Part of My Take. We just actually created it right now, right this very second. So who gets your vote?
What do you mean? Oh, for that award?
Yeah,
Top dog of the year.
top dog.
Top dog.
Top dog. Yeah, and by the way, let's just call it that, right? That's perfect.
Yeah.
Top dog award, Nikola Jokic. I mean, if you had to play a basketball game for the lives of yourself and everyone you know, and you had one pick of who the player was going to be on your team, and everyone else was random assignment, who would you pick?
I like that. I like that criteria. Your family's been kidnapped, and you can only pick one guy to be the captain of your team. That's the top dog of the year. Well, I mean, you're pretty close if you get Jokic's brothers.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He's so tall. I've sat with him before and watched a game.
Yeah,
just
amazing.
Actually, we did a bad job when talking about Golden State. We should try to just correct the narrative if we do need to correct it. Has Draymond Green gotten a bum rap all these years? Is he actually a really nice guy that plays under control? And us in the media, we've done a bad job, and we've called him out for things that did not need to be called out for.
He is a really nice guy, actually. He's just not a very nice player.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and he's going to be careful, by the way. He's 2 technicals and 2 what's the other one? Not text.
Flagrants. He's been doing
2
that.
texts, but I don't know why. My brain is not here today. Blame it on the mimosas on Mother's Day.
Yeah. Happy Mother's
2
Day.
texts and 2 flagrants from a suspension. That's what everyone forgets about the 2016 finals when he was suspended for a game and the Cavs turned it around. He wasn't suspended because of what he did on the floor when we all know what happened with the punching and the this and the that. He was suspended because it just hit a certain limit.
Right.
By the way, once you reach that point, not only are you suspended for the next game, then it goes every other.
Right.
So if they do somehow make it out of this round, I mean, he could miss every other game if he keeps this up. So he's got to be careful.
Which I think he'd be happy to do if Steph wasn't playing. I think it's cool with that.
Yeah.
If
Could you
Steph's not playing, I'm
imagine?
not
Could you
playing.
imagine if it reset? They would have to make a rule to change it for the Draymond, because he would just try to fly through it.
Yeah.
Like as fast
Well, you
as
know why they
possible.
made the rule in the first place, right?
I can't remember.
Rasheed Wallace, 44
That's
texts.
right. That's right. That's right. I forgot Rasheed had that many texts.
Listen, I get it from Draymond too. Like you have to. Sometimes you just got to say shit. You know, you just kind of have to defend yourself a little bit. And so I think he tried to do that. But anybody out there can watch him play and be like, no one else's body flails in the same way that Draymond Green's body flails, and it's got to be a him problem at some point. Yeah. He's very theatrical.
Like a chalk outline, right?
Yeah.
On murder victim?
Yeah, he's super theatrical.
He just doesn't have control of his body, even though he's a world-class athlete. What is it, though? The thing that we were talking about the other day with Draymond, the refs feels like he gets away with a lot, not of like when he flails his body, but when he talks to the refs, it does feel like he gets away with way more than everyone else, because they just, I don't know what they just don't want to deal with him. What is that?
No, he totally does. And it goes back to what I said a few minutes ago. You can't call him all,
Right. Yeah.
right? You can't kick him out of every game. He's a popular player. He's integral to that team. He's obviously a former defensive player of the year, I think 8-time all defense. Can't call them all. So, he goes at it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I got a non-playoff question for you.
All right.
Giannis is going to be playing for what team next year?
Oh, man. Where do I want him to be playing? I'd like him to still play in Milwaukee because
Okay.
I'm sentimental. My second choice of where he would be playing, the 3 teams that have the most assets to get him are the Houston Rockets, the San Antonio Spurs, and the Oklahoma City Thunder, which is crazy. So can you imagine him next to SGA or next to Wemby? I think if he becomes available, those GMs that have been keeping their picks, they're going to pull the trigger. And I think that Thunder actually have the most of all.
Yeah.
So we'll see who's willing to give up what. But I'm a sentimentalist. I love how the people in Milwaukee love him. I love how he loves the city. He can't win there, unfortunately, because they're so tied up with their not having their draft picks and salary and whatever. If he decides to stay, it would really be just a commitment to, hey, I know we're not going to win another title, but I'd like to be here.
Yeah. And what happens with the Bucks if he does decide to do that? Is their future just straight up they're going to be really, 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 really bad for 5-6 years?
Well, they won't be really, really bad. They'll be like a first-round playoff team or a play-in playoff team, which is kind of, with a fully loaded team, is what they've been the last couple seasons because, this year Dame was hurt and out for a while. Giannis was out last season, didn't finish the playoffs, and I think the season before he was out for a while. So they've gotten screwed by injuries. And my thing about, trading for future picks is that you give away a guy who is still in his prime, who is key to the franchise. Because there's people out there, by the way, saying that the Bucks should trade Giannis even if he doesn't ask for a trade. That's a very popular NBA person opinion right now. And the idea is like, he's got 2 years left on his deal. You could get a whole bunch of draft picks for him. You got to do it now. Pull the trigger now. I get it. But you also have Giannis Antetokounmpo on your team. And he fills the building, butts and seats. People love watching him. He's got a great connection to the community. And if you trade him for a bunch of draft picks, you're hoping that 3 years from now, you draft a guy who maybe one day becomes not quite as good as Giannis Antetokounmpo?
Yeah.
If he wants to go, God bless. I totally understand. He has said he thinks he needs another title to sort of represent the player that he is. And if he asks out, he's been loyal to that team. He's played there for a dozen years. He got them a championship. Godspeed. Yeah. But if he doesn't want to leave, I don't agree with this sort of NBA think of push him out the door anyway.
Well, and you're right. Like they won't be really bad if they keep Giannis. They'll win 42 to 45 games, and they won't really contend for a title because he won't have pieces around him. But you can't be bad with Giannis on your team because he's that good. Yeah. It's a tough situation because you don't. Yeah, I wonder what most Bucks fans. I think most Bucks fans would prefer to keep Giannis, but there's obviously the part where you said if you trade him, you're going to probably be bad for a while. If you keep him, you're going to at least have a playoff team, and Giannis is a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, so we'll see what he decides. Obviously, he's the first domino that has to fall.
All right. Another one, non-NBA playoffs, because I saw you comment on this. LeBron should take less money. I agree with you. Is there any chance LeBron takes less money? Because LeBron is still a very good player. I was making this argument when they got bounced in the playoffs. I don't think you can pay a 41-year-old LeBron $50 million and expect to have the roster that you need to compete. You saw the roster of the Lakers. They didn't have a center. You got to build the team around Luka. And if you're going to build a team around Luka, you need some flexibility. So is there any chance that he takes less money? And what is less money if he were to do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little complicated with the salary cap, and if he took the league minimum, it would still only free up, I don't know the number, maybe $10 million for them extra, but $10 million is not a little bit of money when you're trying to fill NBA salary slots. And I just think that he's the most underpaid athlete total in the world right now. Nobody has done as much for a league, much less the teams he's played for, than LeBron James. He's responsible for the level of popularity that the game is at right now. He will never be paid enough. So if you realize he's just going to be underpaid either way, if you know that he is a billionaire, and I don't count other people's money, and he should do what he wants to do, I can only put myself in that position. If it were me, I would say I will take significantly less as it helps, basically, to make sure that we get other people in here who can help us win. Because here's the thing. You can't buy a championship ring after you retire. All that money, it's going to go to your grandchildren's grandchildren's grandchildren once you're a billionaire. So he's not going to feel any difference in his life. But here's what he will feel if he wins another ring with Luke on the team, himself on the team, and maybe some other bigger star player on the team. Well, if he wins 5 years, 5 rings, who won 5 rings? Kobe Bryant. Mm-hmm. And if he wins 6 rings hanging around on the Luka train, we know we know who the guy is who won 6, right?
Wait, Chicago. So you are counting you're counting the bubble championship? Because we don't count that.
I
he
know,
needs
but having
more.
lived in the bubble, I can tell you it fucking counts.
No, easiest
she
championship.
said rings, not championships.
Yeah, that's true.
It's a Mickey Mouse ring. The ring exists.
Yeah, the ring does. You could find the ring
Just like,
somewhere.
Yeah, like a ring pop is a ring technically, but
Yeah.
Look, whatever you guys want to call it, if he gets more, I think that will change the way some of the people who
absolutely.
are predisposed not to like him. I think it will kind of weaken some of their arguments.
Absolutely.
it'll just make them switch the goalposts.
Yeah.
And be like, he's not MJ yet.
We could be fluid. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, you're absolutely right. I've thought this for a while. Like at the end of the career, like why wouldn't you? Again, it's hard to talk about someone else's money, but you would think that the legacy part and having that, like, especially if he won a ring as a 41-year-old. At the end of his career, and you're like, holy shit, this guy just won a ring after being in the NBA for 20 plus years. It's a hard argument to go against.
I mean, it's literally what Tom Brady did.
Yeah.
He gave back a bunch of money so he could win another ring as an old guy.
Yeah.
And it worked.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
So who would the Lakers try to get if hypothetically LeBron said, you know what, you can take 10 mil off my salary? Who do they go out there and get?
They don't have the assets to go out and get a Giannis. They just don't have the draft picks. They don't have the young players that people would want. So that little fantasy, unless, I could never predicted the Luka trade, so I'm not going to say never, but I don't see it happening. So look, they need someone who's strong interior defender who also is a lob threat so that we can set up kind of the Luka, Derek Lively, like alley situation. And frankly, on the wings, they need 3-and-D players. And so right now they're saying, Austin Reeves, he's off the table. We love him. He's like family. Everyone in the locker room loves him. It's true. LeBron loves him, XYZ. LeBron loved Anthony Davis and out. Right. They're going to have to trade Austin Reeves if they want the level of guys around Luka that they need. Because right now, if you're an opponent and you're coming down the court and you see Austin Reeves on one side and Luka on the other, it's like turnstiles of like, you get to choose which one you go through because they don't defend at the level that you need defenders to be elite in the league right now.
Yep. I mean, that makes sense. Let's talk about the East real quick. The Celtics. Are the Celtics completely back? It feels like the Celtics are up 3-1 right now based on how the last game went.
I haven't felt like the Celtics were like the Celtics, even when they were down 2-0, it weirdly felt like they were fine.
Yeah.
And New York didn't beat them all season. The Celtics were historically fluky and sort of missing so many 3-point shots. And by the way, we give the Knicks defense credit because Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, there's just so many guys who really stepped up in those two games. But the Celtics are the Celtics. I mean, they just have all the pieces back that won that title last year. I think it'd be so fun as someone who lived in New York for 20 years. I think it would be so fun to see the Garden rocking through conference finals, maybe even an NBA finals. The odds are not with them right now, even though they're up 2-1. But, who knows? Kristaps Porzingis ends up being out for a while. Something else fluky happens. We'll see.
Yeah. And while we're taping this, the Pacers are playing pretty much perfect basketball. They're up 80-39 on the Cavs at half. I respect the Pacers. They're so much fun to watch. Like, could the Pacers go to the finals? Is it crazy to start believing if you're Indiana? I know the Celtics are on paper better, and they played last year, and I think that was a sweep, even though there was some very close games in there. The Pacers are fun. They play a fun style of basketball, and it just feels like they have a really solid rotation of guys who can all contribute night in, night out.
Yeah, I mean, remember the Pacers had a lot of injuries in that series, so it's not even really fair to think back on that. I love this Pacers team. It's funny, when Tyrese Halliburton was named the most overrated player as voted by the players in the NBA, did you guys talk about that?
Yeah.
Okay, so here's what's funny about that poll. The Athletic, which did the poll, to its credit, listed how many guys answered each question. There's about 450 guys in the NBA. Only 90 of them answered the question of who is the most overrated. So less than a quarter of the guys in the league even answered the question. And then if you go with the percentage that voted for Halliburton and you do the math, first of all, it's weirdly like 12 and a half guys. I don't know how a half a person player votes, but let's say it's 13. 13 guys. There's 13 guys in this league who think Tyrese Halliburton's overrated. That's it. That's all.
So it could literally just be the Bucks because they hate each other. Yeah.
It could be the guy who didn't make the Olympic team because Tyrese took that spot. I mean, he could be hated by guys. This is the pettiest league on earth.
Yeah.
The pettiest. there is no more petty than this league, the NBA. So I don't know. I think he keeps bringing it up. Overrated, overrate that, right? But he's an excellent player. And even though the Cavs, were so strong throughout this season, when the Cavs went down 2-0, I was like, they're in trouble. Whereas with the Celtics going down 2-0, I was like, we'll see.
Yeah, the shots just have to start falling for them. That's really at the end of the day. I like that theory, though. It's like the Bucks and then, let's say, Jaylen Brown.
Yeah.
They were the ones that said that Halliburton is overrated. And it doesn't make sense for players in the NBA to, like, poke the bear, to, like, call a guy out who's still playing and obviously, like, a dangerous player, because all you're going to do is make him better.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and look, Rick Carlisle's a great coach. They're so fast, great in transition. They're really fun to watch. So if they're the ones who advance, it's going to be a fun Eastern Conference Finals either way.
Yeah. So we also have the draft lottery tonight, Monday.
Yeah.
A big night for our beloved Wizards. You know me, Rachel. I'm a massive Wizards fan. I eat, sleep, breathe the Wiz. This is the one. Yeah, the cat. You're wearing your cap shirt right now. That's another story. But the. I feel like the Wizards, if they get flagged, I'm all the way back in as a fan. But it's probably not the most exciting place that he could potentially land for like the average NBA viewer. Where do you think, like, if you're just a casual NBA fan, where do you think the funnest place for Cooper Flag to end up is?
I mean, the most likely places are DC, Charlotte, and Utah. Like, I actually think DC's kind of, for him,
Definitely.
if I was Cooper Flag, of those choices, I hope the Wizards get the number one pick.
That's true. Good
Washington,
point.
DC is a great place to live. It's an international city. I cannot say the same for Charlotte. I cannot say the same for Utah. And of course, if he went to Charlotte, he'd still have all those fans from Duke right there, but he's going to have plenty of fans. He'll be fine wherever he goes. It would be huge. You know how long it's been since the Wizards made a conference finals? Not won a title, not made it to the finals, just made it to the conference finals.
I think it's got to be at least the 80s, right?
Just pick a number. How many years?
1981. So that would be 44 years.
You're close. 46 years.
46
It's
years.
been 46 years.
Yeah. It's been bad. It's been
a long
bleak,
time.
but at least they have a plan that they're working on. They just kind of floated along without really a plan for a long time, and the tank has worked beautifully. Jordan Poole and Kyle Kuzma were excellent players to pick up if you're trying to lose games, and so they have a plan. The plan worked, and now we gotta just trust that stupid fucking lottery ball machine.
Yeah, man. Well, even if they end up number 2, I think they're in good shape. I mean, we'll see. They've drafted they drafted very smart and not the best draft last year. And they've got, this draft is a great draft and next year is a great draft. And I wouldn't be surprised if they were in the lottery again next year. Yeah. And then they'll have a really good young team.
What's the team? It's probably Philly, but is there another team that you're like, they can't win the lottery? This would be bullshit.
I mean, the Thunder? I don't know. I mean,
Spurs maybe? Spurs getting
one
Wemby.
of these teams that has all the resources already.
Yeah.
But
if Philly wins, it's going to be, people are going to be so pissed because they did the whole process and then they had 1 year where everyone got hurt and they basically were like, we're just not going to try this year. Did a great job tanking. It's actually an art. There's some teams that cannot tank. The Bulls do not know how to tank. And if Philly wins this, it'd be like, oh, man, people would be so mad. They'd think it's so rigged.
Yeah.
By the way, my saying it could happen was for San Antonio, obviously.
Yeah.
The Thunder are not in the lottery.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Right. I think they had some picks where if other teams had lost a couple games at the very end of the season, it was a possibility for the Thunder to get the number one. They're getting Giannis. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they're getting Giannis.
It's going to be such bullshit with when SGA starts doing the little like dribble under the basket thing like Steve Nash used to do and then just throw the ball right up in the air and Giannis just dunks on everybody.
Yeah.
That's what's destined to happen.
What about Wemby and Giannis?
That would be fun.
It would
I don't
be
know
fun.
how you'd score on them.
It would be fun. Yeah.
Little 20 hours action?
Wemby, Giannis, Cooper Flag, just load them up. Do you know, is there anybody else in the draft? I know you're not, I don't know, you might be a draft person or not, but like,
I'm not a huge college basketball person, so
I just know that.
I wait until the draft lottery happens. I wait until the draft happens. Then we see who's on which team, and we go from there. I know the top 3 or 4 guys, maybe 5 deep, are considered really good. I don't want to pretend that I know more than the guys who study this year round, but it's a deep draft, and I think there's going to be a lot of picks, even throughout the first round that we're going to see. Giannis himself, I think, was a 15, 16 number pick. So.
All I know is that Rutgers basketball was really, really good last year.
Yeah.
That's why they've got so many players in the top
everyone's
five.
gonna look back and be like, how do they have 2 guys in the top 5?
That kid though was really good. That kid could end up on the Wizards easily.
Both of them,
And
Dylan
he
Harper
could
and
hit.
Ace Bailey. Yeah, they're both very good. All right, so Rachel, I know that we're like halfway through the second round, but we're gonna just give you the chance right now to tell us your NBA Finals and NBA Final winner. And so you get a little, you get to cheat a little bit because not that you would have picked any of the teams that are actually you might have picked the Clippers. You're a Ballmer. You like Ballmer. We love Ballmer.
Dude,
How cool is that stadium, by the way?
it's the best stadium in the NBA by far. And he brought all these people, all these fans from the Wall over to Denver for Game 7.
I know.
You can't
That's
tell
cool.
me that's not the coolest, man.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know of another owner in pro sports who would do something like that. And by the way, how much do you think he had to pay for those Game 7 seats?
Ooh.
Yeah, probably
Probably a lot.
500 a pop, probably.
Yeah. I mean,
He's a cool guy. Like
he's-
that's how
he-
I would own a team if I owned a team.
Yeah, he does rich right. Like
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
does rich right. It's kind of like, you know, when Mark Cuban came on the scene, everyone's like, "Oh shit!" It turns out Mark Cuban just had to change like how they like the chairs in the locker room, and everyone was like, "Oh my god, this is incredible! No one's ever done this." But all right,
He
so
gave everyone a PlayStation.
yeah.
That was the thing, is that he redid the locker room. He gave them like comfy leather office chairs,
Yep.
and in every locker was a PlayStation. And that was it. Everyone wanted to play there.
Everyone was like, "Holy shit, the Mavs treat him right." All right, so what is your NBA Finals prediction and your winner?
Well, this is crazy. Before the season, I picked the Boston Celtics.
Okay.
With the Boston Celtics down 2-1 in this series, I still picked the Boston Celtics.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's no disrespect to the Knicks. And again, I really do love this Knicks team. They're so much fun to root for and so much fun to watch. But they're the best complete team. And they just won last year. All those guys have a ton of experience. They have international experience, so they can play in any way. I think Joe Mazzulla is a completely capable coach, and all the sort of noise around him is just sort of Celtics fans who get very worried and like to say things. But I just still pick the Celtics. And of course, if the Knicks win this, great. I'm happy to be wrong.
What about so you're sticking with the Celtics? Is Kristaps okay?
This is so weird. And I talked to him about it, it was probably a month, 6 weeks ago, whenever, but they don't know. At least when I spoke to him, they did not know what this was. It was a virus, but there wasn't any sort of thing that they could identify and then treat. So they obviously are doing things to treat him, but there is nothing they have found so far that make it like go away and he'll never have to deal with it again. And it's bizarre. And this poor guy who's had all these injuries finally got to a place where he was pretty healthy and playing on a team where his skills were really needed. And now he's got this thing. He looked awful in Game 1 and for a lot of Game 2, right? I mean, he was paler than the wall behind me.
Yeah.
So
It's just very bizarre.
Is he truly like day to day? He'll wake up one morning feeling like shit, one morning feeling great.
I'm not sure it's day to day because I assume that it sort of starts to come on or it doesn't, right? So I don't know if it's like every other day. He doesn't know how he's going to wake up. I think like he'll start to feel a little bad and then feel a little worse and then feel a little worse. But yeah, I mean, look, my title winner prediction will be completely on the ropes if he can't significantly play in these playoffs because he is part of what gives them such a huge advantage.
Yeah.
All right. So who do you like out of the West?
No one? No, I mean everyone.
That's actually the correct
you're right.
answer.
Like
no one and everyone.
Any team.
Look, the Thunder should be the pick out of the West, right? Because they were head and shoulders above everyone the entire season. They showed in the last game they played that having young legs really matters, right? They completely outplayed Denver in the fourth quarter. And the fact that they can play so well on only a day's rest, there's a great stat. I have it here. So the Thunder, they're the youngest team in the NBA still. When they are just on 1 day's rest, they are a 17-point differential. They score 17 more points than the other team on 1 day's rest. I mean, it helps to have young legs, man. And I just sort of think that they've rocked it. They've shown it. And I don't know if there's someone else who can beat them, but we'll see. I'm not as confident on that side of the bracket. And I think a lot of who comes out of the West is just basically who ended up seeded with who.
Yeah.
Yeah. Today they said that they call Alex Caruso Unk. He's Unk in the locker room, and he's 31 years old.
Yeah, that's
the
tough.
youngest Unk ever.
That's very tough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad news.
That doesn't make me feel good.
No, not at all.
Is Alex Caruso. All right, I got one last question for you, Rachel. It's a Roback question. RHOBACK.com. Promo code TAKE. Roback.com. Promo code TAKE. RHOBACK.com. We had a debate last week on this show, and one of our producers said that Joel Embiid's actually the same playoff performer as Jason Tatum. Do you care to weigh in on this?
I don't understand how that would be true, since Jason Tatum has the advantage of having been in a lot of playoff games and showing up for them.
That's a good point.
That's a good point.
By the way, I don't think it's Joel Embiid's fault that he's gotten hurt. He's had some really weird injuries. Remember, he broke his eye at one point.
Yeah.
Right. So it's not that he's soft. I mean, the man's huge. Obviously, he's a tree trunk. But the truth is, the best ability is availability, as they like to say, and he has not been available for a lot of the time that Philadelphia has needed him. And Jason Tatum has been an Iron Man. I mean, he has been there for that team over and over and over again. He's one of their most regular players. I don't know how you can make the comparison.
Yeah.
That's a valid point, but you're bringing up numbers now. And our producer said that he wasn't trying to bring up numbers. He was just trying to talk about the fact that they average about the same number of points.
How pretty they are, what they were wearing?
Yeah, it was a bad argument.
The points per game is similar. I think Embiid has about let's call it 3 rebounds a game more. Tatum has 3 assists per game more. And then the rest of it is just, like Joel's missed 8 games, Tatum's missed 1.
And Joel's never been to a conference final. He's basically making the argument the Celtics are a super team, and Joel Embiid does just as well. Even though, again, didn't Tatum score 50 on Joel Embiid's team?
That's
in Game
true.
7?
Yeah, that was in a Game 7.
Here's how you know. Okay, if you put Joel Embiid, if you switch them, if you put Joel Embiid on the Celtics, he wouldn't do as well because he would be on the bench in street clothes for sections of the time, and the Celtics would greatly suffer because of it.
That's
so you
a
can
good point.
say they're better. I don't care what the numbers are. You can't score 16 points or this many points or whatever when you have a sweatshirt on. So that's the answer.
Very good.
That's a good point.
Very simple.
Okay.
I've got a couple questions for you guys, by the way.
All right.
If you have a question for
Shoot.
me.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right. I do need PFT's caps take. Where are we? What's the panic meter? How are we doing? How much agape do you have?
Yeah, I'm very. I was super agape on Saturday, and then I woke up this morning not agape at all, and I'm still not agape. I don't know what it is, but Ovi's looked old. He's looked really old the last couple games, and we saw it last year in the playoffs against the Rangers. That's what he looks like.
That was
right
a
now.
1-8 matchup.
That's true. Yes, but I'm talking about just like the juice that he brings, the energy that he brings. I haven't really seen it this series. He had it last series, so I'm concerned about that. And outside of the top line, we don't have a lot of guys that are flying around making plays.
Carlson looks old.
Carlson looked very old on Saturday, but the nice thing about Carlson is he's always looked old. Even when he was young, he looked old. He was just kind of like an average speed defender. He's always in the right place at the right time. He was not in the right place at none of the right times on Saturday. So I'm worried, and I'm worried that I'm going to the game on Thursday, and I'm scared that that's going to be a closeout game, that I'm going to see the Cap season end right in my face.
Don't say that.
I've already put a must win on Monday. Monday night's a must win for the Caps.
Definitely a must win. Not I can't lose. Definitely a must win.
Yeah.
They had a great first period, and the goalie just stood in his head, and we'll have to see.
Yeah.
I don't know. All right, my second question for you guys. Can I get another recurring guest t-shirt? Because mine burned in a fire.
Oh yeah. That's a valid.
Oh
yes,
man!
for insurance
actually,
purposes.
hold on. I'm looking up right now. We actually don't have fire insurance on those shirts, so sorry about that.
Why do you think I'm drinking out of a Solo cup? I have no glasses. I have no nothing.
When you made your claim to the insurance company, we were like, "This was a 1 of 2 shirt that burned, and it's worth probably hundreds of thousands of dollars."
You have to list like the contents of your house, which is hysterical because you go to where my house was. It is literally just a field of ashes. Like, there's no arguing over what was there, but you still have to make the list. And of course, an itemized item. It wasn't just 10 t-shirts.
Right.
It was the part of my take t-shirt and then all the valuable jewelry, and then the rest of the house.
I'm happy I didn't bring up the shirt before you said that, because that would have been awkward if I'd been like, "Hey, you still got the shirt?" Like, nope, burned. Yeah, we will get you a new shirt. We gotta get you a new shirt.
That
I need
also
it. It's a treasured possession of mine.
that had to be just terrifying. Is like checking to see if your home's still there, finding out it's not. Where are you in the process?
Yeah, so when, it's crazy how quick it was. We lived in Pacific Palisades, Malibu area. That was the day that there was this crazy 100-mile-an-hour winds. The fire chief later said it was like a 5-alarm fire inside a tornado. Like there was just nothing anyone could have done. And we could see the flames coming down the side of the hill toward us, which is a lot. So you're just rushing around the house, trying to get out, trying to grab some things. But we didn't have a chance to grab much. Otherwise, of course, the T-shirt would have been
right
at the top of the pile.
The family pictures and T-shirt.
And then it's the after. And I just don't think that's what, I didn't realize that when I saw disasters on TV. I would be like, oh my God, those poor people, they lost their homes, they lost their stuff. Stuff is stuff. It can eventually be replaced. It's, I don't have anywhere to live. That's interesting. My kids don't have this. They don't have, you know what I mean? So we're just getting into a new place. That's why there's white walls behind me. I still need glasses apparently, and I need my T-shirt back.
And we will get you a T-shirt. And I have to imagine that like a bonus little shitty part of it, obviously the house and all that's super important, but then you have to do a lot of paperwork afterwards.
Yeah.
To try to get any sort of like restitution back. That's what would drive me insane is you lose everything and then you're like, you have to fill out these 20 forms.
I don't want to insult anyone, but the insurance industry in this country, whether it's medical insurance, fire insurance, whatever it is, sucks.
Yeah.
And we don't do that.
It's not great.
Agreed.
Not great. Well,
Not great.
Rachel, it's always great having you on. We appreciate your time as always. Hopefully we see you soon. And
Yes.
thanks. Happy Mother's Day. Thanks for coming on for Mother's Day.
All right. Good luck on Thursday. Bring it.
Yeah,
Come on.
I'm going to be so agape. You'll see me. I'm going to be right up against the glass.
He's not going to close his mouth
Super
the entire
agape.
game.
Yeah, I'm going to be the most agape guy in the United States. There we go. That's going to be me. This is going to be me. I'm going to be so agape on Thursday.
Oh, man. All right. Thanks, Rachel.
Part of My Take is sponsored by BetterHelp. Mental health awareness is growing, but there's still progress to be made. 26% of Americans who participated in a recent health survey said that they have avoided seeking mental health support due to fear of judgment. When people hesitate to get help, it doesn't just affect them, it impacts families, it impacts workplaces, and entire communities. This Mental Health Awareness Month, let's encourage everyone to take care of their well-being and break the stigma. The world is better when people are healthy and happy. BetterHelp has over 10 years of experience matching people with the right therapist from their diverse network of more than 30,000 licensed therapists with a wide range of specialties. We're all better with BetterHelp. Visit BetterHelp.com/PMT today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/PMT.
Okay. Let's wrap up the show with jordOn of the Week. Hank, do you want to start? Do you want to? Okay.
Okay.
We'll start.
All right, I'll start.
Okay.
What is there? Pablo Torre came out with a in-depth, fully journalism-ist podcast.
Okay. You got this.
He went
Was it word that
full journo.
Yeah, researched.
In-depth research,
Sourcing.
breakdown, sourcing.
11 sources.
11 sources.
He had someone, I think, go
close,
like a field report.
family sources,
Yeah.
program sources, jordOn, like childhood and like where she grew up sources.
A field reporter went to jordOn's mom's sex shop. He did a very good job with this.
Yeah, he did a very good job. And that's I'll leave the rest to you guys.
Okay, so I guess we can just talk about some of the actual bits of news that came out of it. One, he said that she was banned from UNC football. Mm-hmm. Now, UNC football then released a statement saying that while she is not an employee of UNC football, she is not prohibited from visiting the team facilities. But they did, in fact, say in the statement she is not an employee of UNC football, which seems to be a big takeaway because maybe some people were saying that she was acting like she was.
Right. And I don't want to say UNC copied us, but we, Memes, got right on it when the news came out that she was banned from UNC. Memes released a graphic saying that she is not banned from PMT.
Not at all.
And she is not.
Yep.
jordOn, you are always welcome here, girl.
So it was like she's banned, but then she's not technically banned because I don't think like Bill can say she's coming to the office, and that's something, but not like as a place of work. It sounds like.
Yeah, right.
So I don't know what she's doing. I know she's running Bill's own personal stuff, like his social stuff, but I don't think that she's now officially working with UNC. He also said that she was definitely behind the cancellation of Hard Knocks.
Yes.
That there was like pretty early on a clear power struggle, and they just said, you know what, this is not worth it. We're going to be out of the jordOn business.
Right.
Which that's the beauty of commerce in America.
Right.
You can decide who you want to work with. Listen, some people, they get intimidated working with an alpha like jordOn.
Right.
And it sounds like the people at HBO, they're like, you know what? We're not going to be calling the shots here. jordOn, I can already tell, that's a tough cookie. I don't want her to take my job.
Yeah. She's probably going to run HBO soon enough. There also there's a little bit of confusion about her age. She might have filled out that she was born in 2000 in the UNC directory, but she, I think, was born in 2001. I don't know when it became appropriate to ask a woman's age. I thought you weren't supposed to do that. So let's just leave that one aside.
It's very impolite.
There's also belief that
it's actually illegal to do that.
It is illegal.
In job interviews. And you already said that she was not an employee.
Correct.
So in this portal thing she was filling out, was she applying for a job? And you were asking her.
Good point.
Did you ask her if she was pregnant too?
Good point.
Because that's also illegal. And also I'd kind of like to know if she was.
Yeah, right. Because
she might be.
Baby could fix all this. Then there's also the belief that Pablo floated it out that they're potentially leaving the "How Did We Meet" thing because they're going to do a reality show.
Good.
More jordOn.
Can't wait.
Need it.
I want to see that.
Want more jordOn.
That's also very savvy from a business sense.
Yeah.
Don't give that stuff away. That's going to be gold.
And then the one part that because Pablo did a very good job of this reporting, even though we might disagree on whether jordOn's a girl boss or not. I think she is. The one part that maybe irked me a little, Pablo used an anonymous source that said one person said she's the worst person I've ever dealt with on earth, and I've dealt with actual sociopaths. I'm not saying that is everyone. I'm just saying this story is extreme. That last part is Pablo. So the source said she's the worst person I've ever dealt with on earth, and I've dealt with actual sociopaths. Anonymous source. I have an anonymous source about jordOn. I have an anonymous source that this person said, hey, if we ever want Bill Belichick on, we got to start being nice to jordOn. Also, she's really hot. Anonymous source. Henry Lockwood. So I don't know. Like, dude, we don't do anonymous sourcing over here.
I do think it's probably a bit of a stretch to say she's the worst person I've ever met in my entire life. And
I haven't met a lot of people.
I've worked with sociopaths.
That source probably also said that before, like, shit hit. This was when the anonymous source said that. It was before this whole thing became a story.
That
like,
is
it wasn't
That's true.
after this thing became a story. It was like.
But I'm just saying, like,
when it made a
anonymous
little more
sources can
sense.
go both ways.
Yeah, for sure.
Because that anonymous source who said, hey, if you want Belichick on, you're going to have to be nice to jordOn, also said she's very beautiful and smart.
She is.
You're right. Wait, you said that?
I think that. I agree with this anonymous source.
Also, that anonymous source said, watch out, Christian McCaffrey may not play football anymore.
There was another story in this podcast that was about her kind of shoehorning her way into another commercial. So we already heard about the Duncan story for the Super Bowl commercial where she's like, hey, Bill, wouldn't it be fun and cute if I was also with you and Ben Affleck in this shot and I'll just be in the background pumping my fist?
Guess what? It was fun
America
and cute.
agreed. It was a great commercial.
It was super fun and cute.
It was super cute and super fun.
Yep.
There was another commercial for Underdog where she suggested when she showed up for the shoot that maybe they do the commercial a little bit differently instead of the script that they had for it. What if the commercial was just about her in a yellow polka dot bikini trying to get Bill's attention by the pool?
Oh,
which sounds like a great idea for a commercial. And then apparently they pretended to film the commercial for her.
Oh.
And they didn't actually have the cameras running at the time, but they were doing it to make her feel like, shoot, just okay, we'll do what she wants and then we'll move on.
That one's tough, especially production like that's a nightmare. That's a production person's nightmare.
Oh.
Yeah. But it sounds like it was a great idea for a commercial.
Sounds like we need this footage because it's probably going to be, you know what? If we get our hands on that footage, we'll make a Pardon My Cheesesteak commercial out of it.
Agreed.
No problem.
Agreed. Or
jordOn, we'll pay you to be in a Pardon My Cheesesteak commercial.
Yeah. Or if you just want to, direct the entire commercial as well.
Yeah, whatever you want.
Matter of fact, jordOn, you are now officially head of production for Part of My Cheesesteak.
Yeah.
We'll be waiting for you. And guess what? We don't care how old you are.
Nope. Because
Should 18 plus.
Yep,
Cool.
18 plus. Listen, jordOn, you officially. I would like to make an announcement. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. jordOn Belichick. Is that what's her name?
She's definitely written that down in a couple of spiral notebooks. Practice the old signature.
I just did
Jordan
jordOn.
Hudson.
Whoops. Okay, let me do that again. Breaking news. Breaking news. Breaking news. Come on.
I'm looking
Move
at
it.
it's Hudson.
jordOn Hudson, you are officially the first person and the last person to ever be granted lifetime cheesesteaks from Pardon My Cheesesteak.
Wow.
That's huge.
It's you. Anytime you want a cheesesteak, has to be for you. You have to eat it. You can't give it to anyone else. Non-transferable. That is legally binding. Anytime you want a cheesesteak, it's on us.
One thing I will defend her on is
What if she got like super fat cheese?
no, not her. She
would
works
never.
too hard.
Genetics.
Runner
You don't get third and
runner up in
third
Miss
in
Maine,
Miss Maine.
the main event.
She's beautiful. She's glowing.
You know what? And she'd be just as beautiful even if she did eat cheesesteaks every day for the rest of her
I
life.
would say even more beautiful.
Because what's the most beautiful part about her is what's between the ears.
Yep. And it could be a lot of cheesesteak.
Yep, absolutely.
Don't, please, jordOn, do not put the cheesesteaks in your ears.
Is there? I guess there is a big difference, kind of, but not really.
Of what?
If
She
Bill,
got robbed
if
from
Bill
Miss Maine.
met her when she was 19 versus if Bill met her when she was 20,
I don't know.
No.
I think it's
Florio said that. I
it's
think
pretty much-
Florio wrote, it was like, there's a big difference between a 7-year-old meeting a 19-year-old and 7-year-old meeting a 20-year-old. I don't
no.
That's literally sounds like satire.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you're that far apart, it's like it's a big deal no matter what.
Yeah. We stand with jordOn. Agreed?
Agreed.
Also, congratulations to the Miss Maine. She looks beautiful.
I think she got hosed.
The one who won?
I didn't watch any of it.
I just saw the one who won, and I was like, yeah, makes sense.
It would have been funny if during the question, I assume they had a question and answer part of Miss
I
Maine.
believe so. I think she came out in a gown that said, it taled about Maine lobster fishermen.
Love that. Love that.
So that was cool.
In the trap. Yeah.
Yep.
It would have been great.
jordOn in the trap.
It would have been great if they had just asked her, so how'd you guys meet?
Yeah.
In the question and answer.
Yeah. But yeah, listen, third is not something to be ashamed of.
No.
jordOn is our queen. Hank, how are we doing?
Great.
You think she'll eat a cheesesteak?
I think she'll probably pick us up on that offer to be head of production for
Yep.
PMC.
Yeah.
Love that.
PMC.
Can't wait to work for you, jordOn. Not
Yes.
even with you, but for you.
You tell us how to jump. We say how high.
I'm gonna
Okay.
I'm gonna do my job.
Yeah.
And that's whatever you say it is. I'm gonna
Literally whatever you say.
eat that humble pie.
Big time. Good?
Yeah.
Good?
Okay.
Okay. You guys think we nailed that?
Anything weird about
Anything?
One thing that I probably didn't talk about as much, but she was 19 when she met Bill, and she already had an ex-boyfriend that was like a 60-year-old.
Well, I think they dated after she met Bill because they didn't. Bill was still dating his ex-girlfriend.
Okay.
So they met and didn't start dating until 2 years after that.
got it.
Yeah.
one of my favorite parts of the story was the old boyfriend that they did a little background on.
Yeah.
And he has written thousands of reviews on a wine reviewing website.
Yeah.
Thousands of reviews.
Thousands.
So it's like Pug when he gets on Untapped. He always checks in when he drinks a beer, which rocks, and then his friends like.
But
give a
you
thumbs
do that,
up.
Pug?
Oh yeah, Pug is big on
Hell yes.
the beer apps.
I didn't know you rocked out like that.
Oh yeah, I'm tapping in all the time.
Yeah, on like a Friday he'll report like drinking a beer, and then his buddies be like sick.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, Montreal was awesome. We tapped in.
Tapped in a few times.
How long have you been tapping
I
in?
didn't know you were tapping
tapping
like
in
that.
for a few years, like 3 years.
Every
I think.
time you drink a beer, you tap in?
Not if it's like a newer beer I haven't had before. Like it depends on the vibe.
If you're out for a night on the town and let's say you stick with one like domestic light beer and you have 9 of them, do you log all 9 of those in a row? Because that would be awesome.
Probably just one. If it's a repeat beer, I'll keep it one. We tap in on new beers.
New beers only.
Got it.
So apparently her ex-boyfriend is like that with wine, where he writes like these very flowery, very prose-like reviews of every single wine that he ever drinks in his entire life.
Yeah.
That's a lot, man. Thousands of reviews of wine is a lot.
Everyone's gonna have a passion.
That's true.
You know, people would look at parts of our lives and be like, "That's a lot. That's stupid."
That's true.
You know, like Hank golfs so much. Be like,
This guy cares about the schedule release.
It's fun to complain.
I don't like the hate on the schedule.
No.
The schedule release is fun.
Just do it all at once.
But do it all at once.
Don't
But I
trickle
don't.
it
No,
out.
I don't like them hating on us.
Yeah,
I don't like the way they've bastardized the schedule release. I think it should just be one.
Yeah.
I think they should do it with no leaks and just be like, here it is. But them judging us, it doesn't sit right. with
and
me.
like some of the fun stuff on social media that the team accounts do is fine or whatever. It's like their Super Bowl.
They ruined
with the
that,
team
though.
accounts.
Yeah,
But
it has
it's
gotten
too
a
much
little
now.
Too much.
I just pay attention to what the Chargers do and I move on.
Yeah. Oh, do you think jordOn will be? Is UNC gonna release a schedule?
Oh, they should.
jordOn.
They probably already have that released though.
Yeah, that is
right?
that is released. It's
Like,
released years in
Years,
advance.
like 5-6 years.
Jordon.
She should do the one for like 2035 UNC schedule release.
jordOn, if you would like to do a schedule release with us on where we'll be watching each game, they'll all be in the gambling cave, but
Yep.
we could we'd have fun with it.
Mm-hmm. A lot of fun.
That would be a lot of fun. A lot of fun.
Do you think he's going to coach?
Bill
Yeah,
or jordOn?
Bill. Bill's the coach.
Yeah, I got confused.
I think he is.
I think he is.
I think he is. But now people they're asking the question.
I think he is. I think he is.
Hank, do you?
Yeah,
That's what he does.
I do.
I think he is.
So when did they start dating?
I don't know.
Why were you shaking your head?
Do we
2
know?
years ago.
You said yeah, but then you were shaking your head.
Was she?
That was
do we
that was
think that
confusing.
maybe, just maybe, she was a reason why Bill didn't get an NFL job?
Yeah, maybe.
Like maybe she was in the
I don't
interviews
think
with
that
him?
because I'm Team jordOn, but
Yeah, no,
there's a possibility.
I actually think it's the opposite, PFT. I think he started dating her after, and if he had started dating her before, he would have definitely gotten an NFL job.
He'd be commissioner by now.
correct. Correct.
It's just something to think about. It's a
I think
question
Arthur
that-
Blank has
I
actually.
mean, he did end up. She went to UNC, right?
What? She attended UNC? I do not believe so.
Oh, okay, never mind.
No, I do not believe so.
Take it back.
Okay,
She did not go to UNC.
I think Arthur Blank probably texted Bill Belichick and was like, "Hey, dude, why didn't you tell me about this cool ass chick?
Yeah.
I would have hired you."
Sorry about not calling you back for the
Yeah.
second interview.
Yeah, no problem.
Do we think that had anything to do with how he left New England?
No, they weren't dating then.
Right.
Confirmed.
They just met.
Confirmed.
Yeah, they weren't dating. They just met. Okay, Max, Hawaii, you're back.
Back.
You brought us gifts?
I brought gifts.
Are any of them the Pope?
I looked for the Pope.
God damn it.
It was tough to find the Pope in Hawaii. There wasn't a
See this one right here?
All right, I'll start with you then.
It's an old ass pope.
I thought the Pope needed a friend. You know, just
Okay.
so the Pope got the hula dancer.
Oh, hell yes. I love that.
It kind of the packaging kind of got a little destroyed in transit, but it
I
still
don't
works.
love that. I don't love that.
It still works.
All right, get it over here. Let me
But
see
that
it.
also everyone's getting 2 gifts except for Shane who gets 0.
Oh, nice.
That also comes with a homemade bookmark because you told me you were going to start reading this summer.
Yep. Bought another book the other day.
Did you read the first one?
Nope. But I bought another
All right,
book.
so we
I
got-
bought about 5 books this year.
I'm gonna give all the way after.
No, bring it in, Pug. Yeah, bring it
all right,
in.
Pug, Pug, you bring it in.
I want to play with my bookmark.
Yep. There's like a little thing on it. Okay. I'll just go around in a circle. Hank, you're next. I went to a farmer's market in Kauai, and this is like a homemade little candle holder.
Okay.
It came with a little tea candle.
Okay.
But that melted in transit. So there's like half of a candle in here that's like kind of broken, but the holder is still there. And
What
it's
happened
pretty
in
cool.
transit?
Love that.
It's far placed. So, it was in my backpack for a while. That comes with a magnet, also from this farmer's
Oh,
market.
nice.
That says aloha. All right, memes is next.
Is that the hello or the goodbye one?
What do you guys think? What do you guys
both.
think?
Looks great.
Pope and a
We're gonna have
chick,
a
huh?
great little
That's hot.
collection over
Look,
there.
it looks like Belichick and jordOn.
That's a hot couple.
So cute.
All right, we're going. Well, you guys just switched up. All right, Pug, you're next. Pug. This was from the farmer's market. It's a little print from an artist, and it's just a little.
So you
kinda looks
just-
like a postcard.
You went to one farmer's
Yeah.
market and you got everything.
Correct. This was from the airport in Maui. It is a salt and pepper shaker
hell
with
yeah.
two. I don't know. It's a Hawaiian salt and pepper shaker.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, Pug. So this is for you.
Pug loves
Nice.
this
Wait, a
idea.
postcard?
Thanks,
Well,
bro. I love it.
It's like it's like a little piece of art, and then the person who made it wrote a little aloha from Kauai at the bottom.
Oh, nice.
This is for memes. It's
Another postcard.
another kind of a postcard, kind of, but it's turtles, Mr. Pear,
Oh,
and then a shot glass of boobs.
nice.
go.
Nice,
I like
James.
Damn.
That's so sick.
That's on brand.
Add it to the collection.
Boobs glass. How many do you have, memes?
I have 2. If people just want to send me boobs,
Jack, I didn't really know where to. That's an interesting way to go there, memes.
Yep.
mugs.
Yep. All right. Send-
Jugs?
Yep. Okay. Jack, I got you a magnet with a bottle opener on it, and then also some dark chocolate macadamians.
Oh, nice.
So PFT. I was about to do something super sick, but I thought it would have been mean to the rest of the team here. I was close to bringing
just
back
means it
like
was too expensive. You
like
didn't
a
wanna pay for
$300
it.
ukulele.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
then I thought
would have
that
been
it-
super sick.
Yeah.
But it would have been-
that's
Man,
just
that
like-
would have been fucked up.
Instead, you went with a bookmark.
It's a postcard.
So instead,
of a
I went to
ukulele.
that ukulele
I would
store.
have given up the bookmark budget for the ukulele.
The
for
ukulele
PFT.
would have been cool, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that would have been
what-
cool.
All right, whatever.
That's always the best way to introduce a gift. Is like, here's the awesome gift I almost.
But
got you.
instead,
It was super
instead I got
sick,
you
PFT.
some guitar picks from that ukulele store that
all
I
right,
went to,
sick. I love it.
and then also
Yeah.
from the farmers market
So
that I
you
went
put the
to.
ukulele on the counter. He's gonna be like, "That's gonna be $300." You're like,
I
"Let me-
lit-
you know what?
I
Let me
lit-
take the pics. I'll just take the pics."
I literally did that. I literally did
And how
that.
much are the picks? They're 50 cents.
Yeah.
Done.
Yep. I got you 5 of them.
Sold. Hell yeah.
I got 5 because I was like, like $1.
That's actually honestly that is a great gift because I always need picks.
There we go.
They always disappear. Great gift, Max.
I got you 5 guitar picks and this little bracelet that is made out of volcano lava.
Love that. Very cool.
That is very cool.
Thank you, Max.
And that's it.
All right. I think I won this with the bookmark.
Yep.
I think the picks.
Dude, did you see this bookmark that I'm going to totally use for the books I read?
It is pretty sick, but
It's a bookmark.
You told me you were going to start reading books.
Who wouldn't want to get a gift of a bookmark? You literally just gave me homework.
But
Like-
I'm helping you pursue your hobby for this summer.
A fucking bookmark is an insult gift.
That's what you told me you were going to start reading.
every time I look at the pics, I'm just gonna think about that sick ukulele, and it's gonna make me happy.
I know I should have got the.
I'm going to put my bookmark next to the Pope just so I can just remind myself how awesome the gifts I get from my boys.
Do you have a ukulele?
I don't have a ukulele, no.
I also thought about that. I was like,
Maybe he's got a uke.
yeah.
You're not,
yeah.
you're not fat enough to
I
play
know.
the ukulele.
You gotta have some girth to you, Max. You could be
Max,
a
you can
ukulele
play the
guy.
ukulele.
There
For
was,
sure.
There was this like at one of the
That wasn't about being fat. That was just the vibe because you look
Yeah,
old.
the vibe.
I went
hair,
to a
yeah.
luau and they had a ukulele player who like travels the world and plays ukulele, and it was like the sickest thing ever. She was ripping
Whoa.
the ukulele.
You can't. You
that was
can't
like
be.
a doctor is the mother thing. She?
She
Whoa.
she
I didn't know they
was-
made those.
Yeah. Oh, I gotta find her name.
You can't be bummed out
followed her
listening
on
to the
Insta.
ukulele.
Fuck my phone said. Wait, what'd you say?
I just said you can't be bummed out listening to
No.
the ukulele.
Yeah, no, and
Very
like,
relaxing.
She was ripping the ukulele. She was so good.
Damn.
Great job, Max.
Nothing for Shane.
Nothing for Shane,
Well, Shane didn't
obviously
give
not.
Max.
I gave everyone else. I wanted to make sure I gave everyone else 2 gifts.
2 gifts.
and 0 for Shane.
Thank you, Max.
Deserved.
This is a fun tradition we're starting. This is a good way to combat vacation. It's like,
It's a
hey,
good way
at least you-
to encourage vacation.
No, but Hank,
Oh,
People are
so
saying-
so I can get some more bookmarks and Pope bobbleheads?
Yeah. People are saying Max is a new Hank, and I'm happy
were
to pass
saying
the
that.
torch.
Yeah, but then I heard someone I saw that, and then they're like, Max is literally taking like 2 vacations in his entire time here.
Yeah, I
They just
agree.
happen to be very close together.
Hank's gonna go broke taking vacations with all the gifts he's gonna have to buy. That's what
Oh
he's
my
thinking about.
God, Hank, you
Oh,
better.
my next vacation, I'm balling out.
I want at least 3 bookmarks.
I just don't know when that is.
Okay.
I got nothing planned.
How do you got nothing planned?
Just grinding.
You are just grinding.
Just focus on the grind.
We're still on for golf on Thursday?
Yeah.
All right, good show, boys. Numbers.
3.
40.
You're not gonna get it though, memes.
What if today's the day? Titty mug.
1.
I'll go
There's a titty
with
shot glass.
99 pug.
44.
21.
I'm gonna go with 61.
I'm gonna go with 6. What was your guess, Hank?
40.
1. I don't even think I said number 1.
20.
Half.
Oh, Shane, so close.
So close to getting a gift of the ball, bitch.
Love you guys.